so we still don't know how to start this, but hello!
Wonderful.
Round 3!
Round 4! Alright, let's start again.
Oh shit.
Oops. My bad. Anyway, I am Jared, I am Scientific Gaming. We are here today... No, screw you. Back of the bus, Australian! We're trying to do this whole podcasty thingy. So we've decided that maybe we'll do an episode here. I call it a Testcast, I guess, while we try and figure out if this is something we are capable of doing and if you find people like actually listening to our dumbass ideals. But with me right now is Medic Blue, that Australian guy sulking in the corner over there.
In the bus.
Oh, now you want to involve me?
Yeah, you're not.
All right, here we go.
Well, you already heard him.
Hi, my name's Medic Blue, and I'm an alcoholic.
Hi, Medic.
It's okay.
It's okay. We're here for you.
We're not judging.
We are.
Next
to our alcoholic, we also have Bill Rye, the Jewish guy.
Hello. I'm not Jewish, but you don't need to know that.
Not Jewish.
His name's
His
Bill Rye.
Not Bill, so I don't know if
Rye.
I can even trust him anymore.
You can. Your money.
Beyond that, Jesus Christ. Beyond that, we've got... Good Lord. So, the last person here is Lone Ghost, who... More lies and lies. This is more his baby. He wanted to give podcasting a shot. I'm totally down for this, but hopefully he can see me through to the end.
I'm here for you.
Are you?
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't go well, it's pretty much his fault.
Sure, I'll take the blame.
Yeah, we're pretty...
Cool, I'm down with that.
We're pretty much screwed, I think.
Legal disclosure.
So,
Verbal contract, it's been
Verbal
saved.
contract.
legally not binding to any of the dumb shit I say today. Oh God, save me. Anyway, what do you guys want to talk about?
Well, since we're here, let's talk about how we met
How we...
through Jared's stream.
Well, I was walking down the beach.
Suddenly out of the bushes rose a crazed Canadian, wielding a knife and screaming, "You will not kill me, you bastards!"
No, honestly, I guess I'll go. I met you fuckers through Jared's stream at Twitch TV/Scientific Gaming.
Oh, yeah.
He was streaming
Shameless
State of
plug.
Decay. And, yeah, pretty...
Yeah.
Nothing really more to add to that. It's you fuckers go.
State of the game. O'clock in the...
Well, how I managed to be able to meet Scientific Gaming is I was dicking about in Twitch TV, going through Terraria, I believe it was, just looking for people to watch. I saw Scientific Gaming. It was like one of the lower streams, and I'm just like, oh, may as well see what this guy's doing. Yeah, I just started listening to him. It was alright, and I decided to ask if I could join the server. He was playing with other people that he knew, and funnily enough, he let me in. I started building a tower and mixing potions for everyone.
He told us he knew magic and that he could get rid of that for me. He lied. Lied.
It was only to get closer to you, sir.
Oh, Lord. So, Lone, besides the rapist and the midnight lurker,
Wait, which one am I? The rapist and the left?
Little A, little B.
Well, I am kind of in the same boat as Medic, but I was looking for more Assassin's Creed stuff. And it was the day before your 24-hour stream for Assassin's Creed 4. So, yeah.
So during my little clutch run where I tried to do all the main games and just barely pulled that off.
Yep.
Well done for that, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Good as. Now, for shit to talk about. We have Watch Dogs and Divisions. The charity going on currently for cancer,
AGDQ.
the 1 million goal one.
They're doing pretty damn good right now.
How
Yeah,
far along are they right now?
They think they just recently broke 900,000.
Wow.
I was watching Cosmo earlier, and they had a couple people like, "Oh, like here's a $500 donation, here's a $1,000 donation." I'm like, "Holy shit!"
Share the money?
Yeah.
It's for cancer research, though.
So technically they are sharing it if any of you have someone
So
who knows
many
got
sad
cancer.
stories. So
Yeah, every single donation I've seen has been like, "All right, here's another donation too," and they're gonna read out what came with the donation. It's like, "Oh yeah, I lost like 2 friends, a family member, my kids." It's like, oh,
my
Yeah,
dog,
cat
a
and my
rabbit,
left
a gerbil named Harry.
like, all of your pets came in the fallout. They didn't even have cancer. It was just, oh God, we're already insensitive. I'm 5 minutes in. Shit.
Well, welcome to the podcast, everyone.
This is perfect.
Right,
You
we've
can
already
stand
lost half our viewer base.
No, don't worry. I
Okay.
promise Watch Dogs. You can put that in the tag. I'm sure somebody will probably stick around and watch it.
Well, you are
Watch Dogs it.
Jesus.
I am the hype master of Watch Dogs.
Yes, you are.
You are our Watch Dogs liaison, as you've been talking about that since the night you came into my channel when State of Decay was a hot topic.
It was.
So, what can you tell us right now about the coming Watch Dogs that I really want to play?
Well, apparently it's going to be in the Assassin's Creed universe.
Oh yeah,
With
you were
Abstergo.
talking about Abstergo potentially being in the level somewhere.
Yeah, may see some Easter eggs of Abstergo-related products. Factions, which you cannot join, but apparently, depending on your reputation, they will either be with you or against you.
Oh, so it's like in-world NPCs.
GTA 1?
Yeah.
GTA 1, oh god.
Yes, GTA 1,
Oh.
where it's an overhead view.
We used to play that clusterfuck in school between classes.
Oh God.
Nice.
It was, well, good multiplayer, bad days. Anyway, so you're saying there's going to be like in-game NPC factions that, depending on if you're an asshole alone or
Hey,
like
whoa,
a nice guy, that potentially you could join them and maybe get extra perks, guns. I don't
Not join them. It's like from
They
what
won't
I've been
fight.
reading on like forums.
They'll be
and,
nice.
Like facts and like AMAs from the developers and stuff. You can't join them, but this is directly tied in with the multiplayer. So like maybe like if you raid a person, like this is all speculation at this point. Like track.
Yeah,
this
I mean the
person.
game's not out. All we have is theories and
Yeah.
dreams.
Well, there are some confirmed things. Like apparently there's like 30 plus cars, but you are not allowed to customize them like GTA level, where you go into like fucking.
That's not really
Los-
what the game's for, though. I mean, this is
it's
at
not
its
about-
core is a hacking game. It's
Yeah.
not like a let's pimp my ride and jump it off a bridge.
Yeah, that's
And-
GTA Grand Theft
Yeah.
Auto. It's kind of focuses on having cars and being able to fucking nick them off other people.
Yeah.
We're hoping Watch Dogs won't be exactly like that.
Yeah,
More about the stealthy. More of a hacky.
Well, it's not even. Sorry for interrupting. It's not even about stealth. Like you can do stealth, but if you want to go Rambo, you can, which is.
But I mean, we were having this conversation earlier. Where what do we really call it? Because we were looking at that and like Infamous, and they're not GTA style games, but they are like GTA ish kind of third person city.
Well, they're-
thing.
They're adventure sandbox. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's really what they are.
But I mean, the problem is you get a lot of games like everyone compares the Adventure Sandbox to like the granddaddy of it being GTA, whereas GTA is fucking around in a city. Saints Row took that fucking around to the next level, and
Yeah.
I think Watch Dogs is going to go the other way with it. It's going to be darker, grittier, a little bit nicer, like the old True Crime LA
yeah.
games, like
Dude,
those
about
games.
That'll be really fun.
Yeah, like that's what I'm thinking it's more going to be like, and I'm really hoping it is because that looks really nice if it would be.
I remember how sandboxes were compared to more on the like Prince of Persia or the Assassin's Creed lines. Like Assassin's Creed 1 and like Prince of Persia, that shit was seen as like the main sandbox. Look at this. You can go anywhere.
And now it's like you think back to it, it's like Assassin's Creed 1, you can. That city's not very big, and
No.
there's not a whole lot to do in it. And
Yeah.
at the time, it was fucking amazing, but now
Yeah.
it's like, oh, that was
And
pretty
Prince of
fucking
Persia
small.
seemed like a sandbox, but it was actually very linear to the direction you were going.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I liked Assassin's Creed 4, because it was admittedly not that big. A lot of it was water, but there was still so much shit
So much
to
stuff
do.
to do. Yeah.
But I mean, I did the 24-hour stream on that, and at the end of the stream, I was like, oh shit, I guess I should probably finish the storyline before this ends. I've just been fucking around for 18 hours.
But you can do that and not get bored.
Yeah, and I was still having fun, and then I came back for the fucking, like, next week on stream, like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
jump on and let's finish decking up my boat, let's get those legendary ships down, let's, I don't know, get the Mayan armor, and then just let people shoot at me for 30 minutes and giggle insanely.
Still fun to
Did
do.
you?
Yeah, I did, because they just shoot at you and the bullets bounce off. So I just stood on a roof and 2 guys shoot at me for like half an hour.
And then you really got bored and started just hanging everybody for no reason.
Well, there's swing sets. Children need things to play
That
on
is true.
in the Caribbean.
And the people demanded it.
Yes,
The
you
people
just
demanded it.
climb up one of my victims and just swing back and forth. You can have great fun. Let go, grab onto another one. It's like jungle vines.
Yes.
Except your
Their bodies.
families.
Except it's your family and Steve down on the corner over there. His head came off
No
while
one likes
Billy
Steve. He
was
was an
swinging,
asshole.
and it was really fucking gross. Steve is disgusting.
All right, going back on track though for Watch Dogs, so we can tie this all up. The tool that you use, like when Aiden's looking at his phone and like getting information on people, that's called the Profiler. It's not just his phone app he got from iTunes or some shit like that.
The Apple I Spy.
I spy with my little eye. Yeah.
But come to think of it, nowadays that wouldn't actually be too difficult with Twitter and what it is nowadays. Just people post fucking everything and anything. You can pretty much get any information right now, like
Here's
that.
my selfie, bro. Oh yeah.
Are you
Here's
okay
my
over there?
cat. I seen a video of someone doing that, like tweets near me, like on the application, and
Yeah.
he's walking around talking to complete strangers, going, "Hey, you're Melinda or something, right?" They're just looking at him like, "Yeah."
I've
Just
seen
like,
that video.
it was
Yeah.
your birthday yesterday. Happy birthday. And these people are freaking out, not understanding what's going on, calling these people weird for stalking them, and it's from all the information they've given him.
Mm-hmm. Welcome to the wonderful world of social media, and people just don't pay attention. Like, if somebody walked up to me and went, "Hey, you're Jared, you've got that scientific gaming channel and stuff," I'd be like, "Wow, that's fucking amazing. Somebody recognized me," but I wouldn't be like, "How do you know that?" It's on the internet, you dumbass.
People give away their information way too much.
Yeah.
I am Nigerian prince. I need.
I need $400 to send you 30 million. It's just 200.
It is
Seems
good
legit.
investment.
It's legit.
I want to see somebody actually have that happen to them. Be like, "All right, give them $200 and just get the money," and be like, "Oh, wow."
Or your rich uncle died. He wants to give you what, $10 million.
You're a rich uncle.
I just need your social security number and your card information.
Okay, because I
Oh,
don't have
boy.
social security number, so here's a fake one. Welcome to Canada.
Oh, Canada. Let's see. Moving along, we're also going to talk about Division,
Oh, that's gonna be the shit.
Yeah.
which got delayed because, long and behold, Tom Clancy died. Who saw that shit coming?
Nobody fucking believed me. I'm like, "Guys, he's dead." They're like, "Oh, I don't give a shit." Fucking the Division, though. What about it? It's
gonna be delayed.
get delayed. No, it won't. He's got creative control over the project with his name on it. No, he doesn't. Oh, look, delayed. And then
Big shock.
His son swoops into the rescue and just goes, "Yeah, this is mine. Make it."
Mine.
Yeah, I inherit.
Dibs.
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 You know what I was looking at, though, for the Division that I thought looked fucking amazing, and it doesn't seem like a lot to certain people, but they showed the trailers, the recent ones, where they're showing the weather effects and the day-night cycle, and it's like, we did everything. So it shows, like, the cop cars outside of the building, and it's, like, day-night swapping, and the lighting's changing. It's like, that looks really, really cool. Then they're like, here it got really, really cold, so it starts snowing, and you can see the snow actually falling and, like, stacking up on the cars over time in, like, real time, and then melting down again. And it shows, like, they had real-world physics for how things break. So it shows a guy shooting at the car, and, like, he shoots the mirror, and you see, like, the mirror crack and break, and, like, he shoots it again, it, like, blows off the car, and specifically where he's shooting, it's got real fracture lines in the glass, and it looked amazing. Not like that shit you see now, like, we're playing around in Payday shooting the wall, and we're watching the fucking textures change and fill with holes and shit, and it's like, oh, that one's really big there and tiny there, and nothing happened.
Consistent.
I can crack the glass, yay! Like, that doesn't seem like a whole lot. And in a regular video game, it would be kind of cool here and there. But because the Division is more of an MMO base, it's going to be amazing. Because I played a lot of MMOs in the past. And once you've done a game, like, you've got to the end, you're getting your shit, you're figuring everything out, you're having fun, all you do is sit around with your friends and go, you know what? Let's go fuck with something.
Someone.
Well, yeah, or someone. And that's how we found out so many things, like back in World of Warcraft. We'd be playing around and be like, oh man, like if you do this one boss and stand in this one specific area, you can just instantly kill him, or he can't hit you, or we'd find all sorts of glitches. And then when I look at just the beautiful art direction of this game, I'm just gonna shoot at shit. I'm gonna spend hours just shooting at rocks.
They haven't really told us much about Division, though, in terms of the story. I mean, all we know is, like, there's a disease and there's 2 factions and it's MMO.
It's hit.
They're holding the cards very close to their chest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what you should do, though, because what drives me fucking nuts is gaming today, you get those early information bundles that come out.
Yeah.
Like, God, saying that makes me feel old. Gaming today.
Well, come on, man. Donkey Kong and Mario were the shit years ago, but now no one's talking about them anymore, except for their new game.
No, people were talking about them when Spike TV Award show, because Nintendo did some horrific, like, we got some major, and people were like, oh, is it a new character for Super Smash Brothers? No, it's fucking epileptic seizure crazy Donkey Kong.
No, it's Cranky Kong. That was their big release. Cranky Kong is getting a game. How is he not dead? The fucking old monkey from Donkey Kong.
Oh, shit!
Yeah, he's a playable character in the new game.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I don't know how the fuck he hasn't died of, like, anything. Just age at this point. He was like 130 when I was 5. Fucking monkey.
I do feel like the whole early access, like early beta, early alpha.
Well, when was the first time we heard information about Watch Dogs? Like the first time.
E3?
That was E3 2 years ago?
Yeah.
We heard about it at E3 2 years ago, but it was just a trailer. They didn't actually put any game.
It was barely a trailer.
But still, they release stuff like this, and then there's speculation, there's hype, and as they release more information, people like, specifically you, I try and avoid it, as you know, because I don't want to get hyped for it, because this shit happens. It comes out, you get all this information, you start reading about it, you get really excited. Then you've got to wait. I mean, even 6 months is okay. 6 months rolls by, you're like, I'm still really excited for this game. If you have to wait more than a year for a game, eventually you stop caring. And then it comes out and you're like, I don't even know if I'll get it because it took so long to come out that I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Like it happened to me with Age of Conan. The MMO came out. There was a bunch of information on it for years. It looked amazing. It had a skill-based combat system. It had huge city-based PvP where you could fight like 200 versus 200, and like it was great looking stuff. And it took so long to come out that when it came out, I didn't buy it, and I had been so excited. And it turns out that it was pushed out early anyway and flopped.
But the difference being, like, for example, like with Watch Dogs and like Division, like Ubisoft, like they put millions of dollars for. This is for Watch Dogs. Millions of dollars for like press coverage and hyping the shit out of it.
They blew up a car.
Yeah.
Oh, they did the whole 9 yards for like buy this game. It's gonna be awesome, and then they delayed it after they did that huge marketing shamble. That decision,
bad move.
That was not a light one.
Well, yeah, but this is what I've talked about before. This is why I love Ubisoft and hate EA, and I know that everybody hates on EA so much right now that it just feels like a broken record when everyone goes, oh, I hate EA, but they're looking at it as a business, as marketing, and they want money. If your product isn't ready, they want it pushed out and gone. And then they've got all that shit going on right now with Battlefield, where it's just falling apart around them, and they're getting in a lot of shit. And then you look at Ubisoft. They had the exact same thing. They could have pushed out Watch Dogs to release with the console, much like Battlefield did. Except if they had done that right now, it would be buggy, it would be broken, it would be bad. And we'd all be doing the same thing, going, why the fuck did Ubisoft push out this piece of shit instead of finishing it? And so because they're going ahead and waiting and finishing this thing and getting it done and good and then releasing it to us, it should be amazing in Q2 when it comes out and we get to play it, we'll all be happy. Yeah. And I feel bad for them because they're obviously losing money because they did this big ad campaign and then nothing for a while. But
I feel like they'll make that back up in sales.
Yeah, and it's the smarter move.
Yeah.
Well, just look at their Facebook page. They got like a plus million people on their Facebook alone. I haven't even checked out their Twitter. Like they got plenty of people who will follow and then will buy it.
we've seen that the loyalty to Ubisoft through Assassin's Creed with a yearly release since the first one. You know.
Well, I mean as far as Assassin's Creed's concerned, I was actually really I got off the bandwagon. When Assassin's Creed 1 came out, I played it and I thought it was probably one of the greatest games I had ever played. When it first came out, it was groundbreaking. It was amazing.
Then you played it again for Black Flag, and now you're just like, like this shit.
I went back because I did the playthrough of the main games when Black Flag was coming out. It was a struggle to get through the game because I was admittedly very, very bored. It was very, very repetitive, but at the time it was groundbreaking. However, I played that one. I played the second one. I played Brotherhood, and then I was just like, you know what, this is interesting. I like the story. I really like how they're going with it. I like the whole Templar assassin. I like the Vatican, the religion. I like all this back and forth. It's a really great storyline, but it felt to me that when I finished that game, it wrapped up what I had been interested in. And then I saw the trailer for Revelations, and it looked really good, but at that point, I didn't care anymore.
Revelations is more backstory anyway.
Well, I mean, I was told it was a really, really good game, but I didn't play it. I was done. And then 3 came out. Same thing. I was like, I don't want to get it. I saw Liberation. I grabbed that up. I mean, everybody who watches my channel or watches my stream regularly has heard at one point or another about how the Vita got stolen right after I bought it. I barely got to play the game. That sucks. Whatever. Life goes on. So that was the last stab I really had at it. And I was like, fuck it. I tried to get back into it. I don't care. And then I started seeing trailers for Black Flag. And maybe I got a hard-on for pirates. I'm a little bit of a weirdo. But there are no good pirates.
I could see that.
Yeah, there are no good pirate games except for maybe Black Cat, and that's a PS2 game.
And Sid Meier's.
Oh, Sid Meier, yeah.
Yeah.
But looking back, it was I don't know. And then I started seeing the trailers. I'm like, you know what? I'll play this game, and I need to get these other games out of the way. And I started to play them, and I'm like, this really is very similar to what it had always been. And then Black Flag rolls out, and I got on that, and it was new.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It was so much different than the other ones while keeping a lot of the core mechanics.
Yeah.
It went from being... While I do love my stealth games, I absolutely love playing a good stealth game. I am stoked as shit for the new Thief. That game looks so goddamn good. But I was happy that it got away from that. The thing I hated, though, was they didn't know what to do with pirates. They went out and we did all the boat combat. The boat shit was amazing. Upgrading the boat, it was awesome. Legendary ships, cool. The fishing for sharks and shit, awesome. Diving down, checking that out, awesome. The storyline, still pretty good. The actual missions, I probably played 60 or 70 fucking follow missions.
Yeah, I've seen that.
The whole game was follow people from point A to point B, and I absolutely hated that.
It felt like a redone version of the first one, a little bit.
It was like it was like they realized that they were running out of fucking time, and they rebuilt large portions of the game to just follow people instead of
action-packed scenes.
Yeah, let's go somewhere, or let's fight somebody, or I'll even do fetch quests at this point. Holy shit. But I still call it one of my top 3 of the year, as far as game releases go. And I know for sure one of the other ones was Last of Us, and the name escapes me, but I know Payday, yeah. So, whoops.
How did that slip you?
So out of the 3 games that I played this year, those are my top 3. And I mean, I still play Payday with viewers. It's a fun, awesome game. Last of Us, I would probably still play, except there's really nobody's going to watch that, so maybe I'll do a night or 2 and go back and do multiplayer, but, it was a really fun game. The single-player experience at its core was amazing. Assassin's Creed's free roam exploration and all the side shit was amazing, while maybe the storyline was a little lackluster entirely because you had to follow people around. The story itself was great.
Yeah.
And, I mean, those are my top 3 games of the year probably, but it was just... It was new. And even though it was bad in certain aspects, horrendously bad, to follow people around for hours, I still call it, the best game of the fucking year.
But this goes back to, the sandbox thing, because you could fuck around during,
Exactly.
This, you're this guy's an ass, fuck him, and you just randomly shot him, or you're getting hung.
Well, you guys... I don't know who was there because I mean it was a 24-hour stream, so I didn't expect people to be there the whole time. But was anyone around when I discovered the murder bush?
Yes,
No.
Apparently, I wasn't.
that was prime
unfortunately.
example of the best AI in the world.
Like when I play a game, I like to find what's wrong with it. Not that it's a bad game. I like to find bugs and glitches and exploit them for fun. So the big one in Assassin's Creed, and the thing that made it just amazing, especially when you're 20 hours in and you feel like you're going to die, is you start screwing with the AI. So in Assassin's Creed, the big glitch that made the game just amazing was if you crouch in a bush, you're invisible, quote unquote. So I would go kneel down in a bush and hang out, and you could shoot your guns. Well, if you aim and fire, you stand up. But if you go into first person and shoot your gun, you stay crouched, and you're still invisible, even though you're covered in smoke and gunpowder.
And
So-
the sound came from this direct spot here.
Especially when it's a tiny bush. But you can sit in this bush with both your pistols fully upgraded and kill like 8 people at a time and casually reload literally while they're touching you looking through the bush to figure out where the fuck the sound came from. And then you're just shooting them again at point blank. And you'll rack up like 30 corpses around you and you're still 100% stealth.
And gunpowder is just, coming out of the bush, so...
Oh, just in fucking spews and torrents of fire.
But let's all be honest. Like, as much hype is going into like Destiny and Watch Dogs and Division, even though we don't know much about it.
And Titanfall. So
Titanfall is huge with hype. The worst thing so far in hype-wise has been GTA 5. The
Where's the
online
story,
experience.
the
online
single player
experience.
was beautiful.
where are my heists? Where?
Exactly.
They fucked themselves on that one.
Like-
Like, it's 2014. Still, they could have to release one heist,
Like,
parted out or some shit like that.
I will agree with you that the single player campaign for GTA
It's fantastic.
was awesome. Like, I had so much fun in that freaking single player. Just swapping between people. The story was great. I don't know who they got to write it, but it was so much better than every other GTA in storyline.
Yeah.
And the size and scale and scope and just the shit you can do. Once again, just like I was saying about Assassin's Creed, it was amazing. The multiplayer, it's good for a fuck around, but there's no point in doing the missions. There were so many ways to exploit and get easy money.
You don't have to do that anymore. You just have hackers give it to you.
Yeah, apparently, because we have a viewer that's rocking like $3 or $4 billion right now.
I'm one of those people too, actually.
Yeah, that somebody just handed to them, and
Yeah.
Like-
Exactly. You go into a random lobby and you'll have a random person just give you a ton of money, and you're just like, what?
Gee, thanks.
or in Maggie's case, it was he was playing with a buddy of his, and
Well, yeah. I mean, there's ways to exploit it still.
his friend got a bounty put on his head for just like $1 billion, and so he promptly stopped the car, got out, and shot his friend in the head. And now they're rich.
Yeah.
Like
I
it's
mean, there are still ways to exploit it, but still.
yeah. I mean, I have viewers coming in all the time. They're going, "Yo, you should go back and play GTA." I'm like, "But why?"
Like, you can't really use the money once you get the cars you want and the best
And,
apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I got the best apartment on my own.
Yeah, same here,
I
yeah.
farmed missions in like the first 2 days and grabbed the apartment. I was like, that is awesome. Yay me! And now what? I could buy a tank maybe, and so you get on to essentially for me, buy sticky bombs and blow up helicopters. And then you can fuck around with your friends. And yes, that is a fun thing to just fuck around with, but there's no purpose. I mean, there's a couple of mini games. It feels much like GTA 4 did.
I'm noticing a lot of streamers are using it to play with their viewers, though.
Yes.
Now that's fantastic.
That's awesome.
Which is a thing that, like, I did that one night. The only issue is if you're not careful and people start inviting other people, we ended up with a full lobby, and I knew, like, half of the people there. And it was just murder as far as the eye can see.
Yeah. And so if you're careful with it, it could be loads of fun with viewers.
You can have an army by your side or against you. You have to
And
be very careful
so-
with who you invite.
If you have like I know several streamers that have crews.
Yeah.
And they
Okay.
they don't even invite people. They just say, if you're in my crew, you can join.
Yeah.
And that's how it goes. And I've done that with several different, a few different streamers, and it's loads of fun. But my issue is most of the streamers that have their headset around their neck, so they can just do commands or ask you to do something, and they don't have it on their ears so that they can speak to you. And you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, here's the problem you get into. My channel's a little bit smaller, and we've talked about this a lot. Is smaller channels can do more with their views.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, when people get bigger, and I mean, it is a problem, and certain streamers to try and work on it a little bit more. I mean, I will admit, for them, there's only so much you can do.
Well, yeah.
But it's more than what most of them do, is go forth, talk to people. Like, me and Medic were having a conversation about this the other day, where just acknowledgement in a big channel just goes so far. Like, There'll be 1,000 people in there. He was talking about this.
Yep.
If you want to tell them.
Yeah, sure. I'll elaborate then. So what happened was, I was in a chat. The streamer was doing what he's doing, playing around, just doing things, and he's got chat like blaring and constantly going through. Like, I'm amazed he even caught the comment. But I put in my opinion for something, just like, hey, this would be a good idea, sort of deal. And he's talking to everyone, and he's doing his own thing, and he's looking over at chat, and I hear him say, "You know what, Reddit Medic Blue, you are right." And that's all he said. And just that alone, being spotted out, being called out that I was correct throughout all these people, just made me giddy for the rest of the day.
Yeah, like, it makes you feel great. And it's just to be acknowledged. I mean, unfortunately, what a lot of people do is they get these big channels, they get a bunch of people in there, and it's like, hey, you're my minions.
Basically.
Go forth and build me an empire.
Or they just keep it, like, I understand it's like channels with like 10, 15,000, like, you know, and they just get mindless shit from people and they just run it in sub mode just for quality control. But I hate people who have like, oh, we have 2,000, 3,000 mannequins game, sorry, and just runs it just for money, which I understand. You know, everyone's gotta make a living, but don't like shut out the lurkers and don't give them a voice.
You know what drives me nuts is the people that are just at sub level, the people that on average get like 350 viewers. Like, that may seem like a lot, but we were doing the math. When I've got like 30 people watching me, I only get like maybe a third, a quarter that are actually talking.
Yeah.
So, at that logic, yeah, okay, you get like 100 people, but you're not going to get 100 people at 350 talking. You're probably going to get, even if it's like, you know, super hype and people are talking, you're going to get, you know, 50, 60 people.
Yeah, I've seen people like with sorry about cutting you off here, but like have like 300 people inside their chat, no one saying a thing. Me going to Jared's chat, like maybe 20 people in there, and the lines are going through.
Yeah, they're just they're talking, and that's building a community. But that's because I'm getting, I want to say better, but I've been getting worse lately because I've been trying this new thing where I invite a lot of viewers in to talk to me, and when I'm talking to a lot of people, I get distracted. But I try my best to watch chat as much as I can and respond to what is anything coherent. So if somebody has a question, somebody has an idea, I try my very best to talk to them. If somebody's just being mindless, I'll ignore them, and hopefully they'll get the message that, you know, not right now, dude. But, I mean, you gotta try and talk to these people, and then you get these high bar channels that are just like, there's a few people talking, and they're either insulting them, or they're not talking to them, or they're only talking to like the same 4 people.
Yeah.
Like, when I had a battle, and he doesn't even know that we had a battle, and I've never talked to him, but I had a battle with Ferret Bomb when Payday came out. Because we were both big Payday streamers. It was like him, me, Vice, and whatever the fuck they're called. The main Payday team. I don't remember their name. But no, like I don't even remember their name. They got most of the... They got the early access beta stream. They were allowed to stream on beta. I usually beat them. I quite often beat Vice. And then it would be like me and Ferret. And I would be sitting at like 150 viewers. And he'd be sitting at like 200 viewers. And we'd play Payday. We'd payday, go, 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 yay. And he got subbed. And when he got subbed, he ended up on the main page. And then every night he was getting like 350 viewers. And, I mean, he beat me. sucks. But I walked into his channel and I'd watch him play and just there's got to be something, but it seemed to me like he was only talking to like the same few people in his chat, and he was really trying to hype up using his new emoticons and all that, but it didn't seem like he was really building a community or talking to a lot of people. It was just like he was talking, he was talking to a few guys, and it was just weird to me to see that, where he's just kind of content, but he's getting somewhere, and I didn't understand it, but I see that in a lot of high-end channels. They just talk to a few guys, and I mean, they're there. You don't need to go any higher than that. You got your sub, yay!
Yeah.
One guy, like I watched League of Legends, for example, and all that. Like Jared, he may sneer at me for that, saying it sucks.
I've got nothing wrong with League. I just personally don't like playing it, but I understand why it's good, and I understand the viewer base and the players.
Yeah, there's streamers like Afromu and and Trick2G who care about their subs and like people as a community, and they have forums and shit like that to talk to with people, and they respond and read chat. Even like Phantom Lord, like he's crazy, but he at least reads.
At least he
chat.
talks to his people, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and Phantom Lord was that poor son of a bitch that just got nailed by those hackers. So
Yeah.
Yeah, although they condemned it.
I didn't hear about this.
Oh, you didn't hear about?
Did you know when Steam and
Dota 2 and League of Legends, all that went down?
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks ago, I
think
think it was.
EA fucking went down too. Like they took out Origin.
Yeah,
was,
Origin went down.
It took down.
Apparently I was under a rock.
It was when I was playing a lot of Nether. 2 hacking groups got into a little bit of a war and started taking people out. But it all started because one of those groups attacked Phantom Lord. They called up the SWAT team with fake evidence and convinced them that there was a hostage situation going on in his house.
Yeah.
And the SWAT team showed up and kicked in Phantom Lord's door while he was streaming, and Twitch cut his stream.
Whoa!
But Twitch cut the stream for free.
Well, no, they didn't kick in his door. It's like
they knocked on the door, and he went and was like, "Oh God, the cops are here."
A pizza guy knocked on his door, but it wasn't pizza guy from. I figured he got prank called, and the pizza guy pointed to his left, and there was a SWAT guy leaning against the tree with an friggin' M14 pointed at him, and he told him hands up in there and all that, because his brother has a cop buddy, and they said, "Hey, your name just popped up on APB. You might want to go outside and check out."
Yeah, and then Twitch found out that yes, the cops were there, and they turned his stream off. Like, I don't know 100% of the details, but it was pretty rough. And I've heard other.
I'd be horrified if I was him. Holy.
Oh, he was.
Like,
he was.
I don't know what I don't know what kind of guy this guy is. I don't watch League streams because I don't play the game, so it's not my jam. But I would feel so bad for this dude that I wouldn't be able to take like, oh, he's an asshole, he deserved it. It would be like, I feel just so bad, somebody should do something to help this guy out.
He's actually put up a response to it.
Yeah, he made a video explaining everything, that he's okay and all this, and he made an apology. Yeah,
he made an apology?
Like,
he wasn't
to worrying people.
Oh, for scaring people because your stream goes off and all you know is the cops are at his house and there's a SWAT team.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if I was a viewer that really liked a certain channel, I'd be pretty panicky too. Like, oh shit, like, is one of my favorite streamers like in trouble here, or like, what's going on? Is he okay?
Yeah.
I don't know. We got a little bit off topic there, talking about the whole SWAT thing and the hacking thing. You were making.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't hear about that.
Sorry.
I didn't know about that.
My bad.
Sorry about that.
Let's see, what else? What else was there?
Well, we do have CES to fall back on.
Yeah, we can always talk about CES a little bit if we need to, but I think he was making a point. We cut him off and derailed him, and I don't think he even knows what he's talking about anymore.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I think we was talking about what was like hype of games and of channels or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, we're on like
different
Twitch.
streamers, and you were labeling off League streamers.
Yeah.
About caring about their viewers and shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's important to be able to reach out to everyone.
But the guy, he does No Dicks Please, where he sends like his viewers to raid a random and I don't know if he still does this, but he used to, and like you just see the reaction, like, you know, just be the friggin' dick picture and text and all that, and you would see how they react. So there are some people who would like not even acknowledge it and wouldn't even care when there's like now 5,000 people in their stream.
Well, I actually heard from a buddy of mine who's trying to get into streaming a bit himself. He's been streaming for about as long as I have, but his schedule doesn't allow him to be on as much, and it's a little bit of back and forth. So I'm trying my best to help his stream out. It's Gamer Guy Cody, and he was saying that he heard that there was a thing about raids now. Where I guess somebody got raided, I don't know who it was, and they lost their shit. They hated it. They flipped out. Like,
What? Why?
how dare you fucking do this to me? I don't want these assholes in my channel. And they bitched so much that he was talking about that he now sets his channel with the words like raids welcome, because he was saying that certain people, their Twitch was thinking about cracking down on raids, and that you have to ask permission to raid channels now. And I was like, that's a little bit weird. And then a couple days after was when I got raided by Michael, that Nether streamer. And I'm not sure if it's become a widespread thing or not, but when he showed up, he sent a viewer into my channel before he raided. And this guy made sure that we actually care and that I read chat and respond to people before he bothered to raid. Like, he came in, he's like, does he actually read chat? I was like, oh yeah, dude, hey, what's up? You know, whatever, we're just screwing around here, you know. Harry's starving to death, forget about him, I'll probably shoot him here soon. And then the dude's like, oh yeah, cool, whatever, you read chat, bye. And like, he left, and then came back, and it's like, oh, you're getting raided. And I was like, sweet, yay, cool, thanks, dude. Like, I don't know what... I've been raided quite a few times in the past, and I still don't know how the fuck to properly respond to it.
I don't understand why.
As long as you're having fun with it, that's an important bit.
The proper way to be able to react is be super happy about the guy who's raiding you, because that just makes them feel like, yeah, I'm definitely helping this guy. I feel good for being able to help him.
And they totally are. And I try, like, I am excited legitimately, but I'm like, I don't want to make an asshole of myself. Like, I don't know what I want to do here. I'm like, yay, thanks, dude, sweet. You know, props to whoever, and I like to call them out. And if they have a Twitter, I usually send them a message after and be like, thank you very much.
Here's the difference, though. Like, there's too many people on Twitch who want to think, oh, this is easy money, I can do this, I can...
No.
Yeah.
Even if you make it big in Twitch, it's not a lot of money. You basically survive on donations.
Donations, and like, you have to spam ads up the ass, and...
Yeah.
It's like, it's not like...
And people like me who use ad blocker are not helping that at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
know of channels that if you mention the word adblock more than once, you'll automatically get banned.
Well, no, like some streamers are cool. Like, I don't care if you use adblock, just don't gloat about it, because that hurts my...
Yeah, that's an individual streamer basis. Like, I've talked to people before that have been in channels and been like, oh, not even saying they have adblock, just mentioning something about adblock. Like, someone was telling me the other day, they went into a big channel, they're like, streamer's like, all right, I'm going to put out ads, and he mentioned in chat, he's like, hey, you guys, you know, better not have ad block, or, you know, turn your ad block off if you've got it. And just because he said ad block, one of the mods just went, banned. Not even timed out, just banned it. And he was actually trying to help the streamer. It was just because ad block was mentioned, fuck you, get the hell out.
Like, I don't get that. I understand, like, you know, saying, hey, don't talk about it or something like that, but don't ban.
Yeah, I don't know. I've noticed, though, like, I try and select my mods because I want them to be, you know, relaxed, cool with it, and, you know, not freaking out and being assholes or anything like that. And that's weird to say, because out of my mods, you're 3 of, like, 4 that I actually still have around, so... But yeah, I like to select mods that I know aren't just going to be like, alright, that dude's kind of a dick, banned. They're going to talk to whoever they're talking to and be like,
yeah. If that was the thing, Maggie would have been gone a long time ago.
Come on. That's all right, but they're like, they'll come in and you guys will take a look at people and be like, okay, like, you know, none of that, or don't do this, or if it's obviously a bot, it's like, okay, we'll get rid of that. You just posted fucking naked Julia fucking links, and you sad lonely.
Naked
or
Julia.
slutty, some other, I forgot the names.
There's a few weird ones out there, but
yeah.
I mean, for the most part, if somebody comes in and they break the rules, you'll talk to them and be like, yo, don't do that. Here's why. Like, I'll have to get rid of you, and normally that's okay. It's like, all right, we've got to the end of that conversation, you know, they're going to calm down or be better, or maybe they tell us to fuck themselves and then they're gone. Who cares? But when I go to bigger channels, there isn't any of that. It's just, all right, this dude stepped out of line once. They don't even time people out in a lot of channels. They just ban them.
Well, they just have the bots to deal with it.
Yeah, but I mean, some things they say obviously have to be clicked on because it's like there's no bad words in it. It's just they said a sentence that one of the mods doesn't agree with.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's just too much free reign. It's like, all right, this guy, fuck this guy, bam, and screw you. Even though maybe they didn't read it right or they just don't care. I mean, when you've got a channel, like if you've ever been in Crip's channel, if you got 20,000 fucking people just watching you, the mods have free reign. You'll never know.
Well, it's also hard for like mods when they got like that many people to deal with. I mean, let's be honest. Like,
No, like it's a lot of hard work, but I just it upsets me, and what upsets me more is I know that if I ever make it as a big channel, I'm gonna go in and I'm probably gonna do the same fucking shit, and I hate that. But
Jay, we're not gonna let you do that.
it's stop me. Help
you'll never
me.
be a success.
Well, no, screw you. But obviously, it's a thing because everybody fucking does it. So it can't just be like it's only certain channels. It's like one or two dudes are just dicks. It's pretty much everybody does the same thing. It's because that many people's way too hard to manage. And what I think these channels need is they need to sit down with their mods outside of streaming and be like, yo, let's
Help me out.
like what happened today? Like who was banned, who was timed out, who did what, tell me why, and we'll have a little bit of a discussion about like, okay, what went down? All right, I don't agree with that and here's why. And then if the mods disagree with the streamer and they don't like their method, then they can part mod status if they need to, but at least talk to your mods so that if you can't police your viewers, make sure that your police force isn't just kicking homeless people in your chat.
Good analogy.
Are you sure you're not American, Jared?
I am sure that I'm American, yes. I'm very red and white, not so much on the blue.
But yeah, I mean, it's just I don't know. I was gonna go with that.
Oh yes. Moving along though, Jared,
Yes.
we were talking about Left 4 Dead earlier, and you said you had to bone back because of Left 4 Dead 2 because you said it felt like an expansion pack, and also we were talking about Left 4 Dead 3.
Yeah,
Like-
this was outside of the podcast, but I mean, my issue with Left 4 Dead 2 was there's so much new content, it had to be a new game. Like, there's a bunch of new infected, there's, the melee weapons and all that shit, and it was good, but that kind of game, maybe it's just the style and the format, it felt like the exact same to me, and I know I made the exact opposite analogy the other day where I was like, yeah, so, they should feel the same because if it's not broke, don't fix it, but I hated a lot of their additions, and that's probably why my opinion doesn't count for as much towards Left 4 Dead 2, but I played Left 4 Dead 1 with, what is my now ex-girlfriend for just a long time. It was our game. The two of us would just be like, we'll play Left 4 Dead, we'll play Left 4 Dead, yeah! And the two of us would just play on the hardest difficulty, and we were achievement farming, and it was great. And then the second one came out, and I was still dating her, and we both tried to play it, and I was just like, this is just... I don't like this at all.
Awkward.
And I don't think that the third one is gonna be that good. I mean, I'm hoping, because Valve's a good company, but...
Here is my different take on it. Like the way I see it, like if it's fucking the football bullshit where it is update, the boards and players' names and shit like that. Like no one gives two shits about that. People care about is like card gameplay changes that affect.
It is fun.
Yeah.
Like that's all I care about when I play a game. And Left 4 Dead 2 did that one thing right, which I mean I didn't play a lot of because I didn't play a lot of the game because I just didn't like it. But they had those mutation things that they'd always have going on. Where it'd be like, hey, there's this new mutation out where like this one infected can jump super fucking high, or he's fucking covered in fire, or here's a new weapon that's just going to be out for this week unless you really like it, and then tell us and we'll add it permanently. And that was a good system, but I just feel like Left 4 Dead had its time, and then all these other really badass horror survival games came out, and Left 4 Dead just left a lot to be desired.
But Left 4 Dead
Left to
was
be
one of those
desired.
games. Left 4 Dead was one of those games where it kind of defined. I won't say define's probably the best word I can think of right now. A genre.
Yeah,
especially for zombie games, especially.
it was the father of that big push.
Yeah.
Because before Left 4 Dead came out, we had very, very few zombie games. And then we started to get just nothing.
But
this last week, I've played 2 new zombie games on stream.
Yeah.
I played...
Project
Zomboid.
Zomboid and 7 Days to Die.
Yeah, I played both those games, and admittedly, both good, but...
both need work.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're both in fucking alpha or beta, so it's not surprising, but they're just pushing these games as hard as they can. And Left 4 Dead fucking 1 came out, like, how many years ago? Let me look this shit up here. They're fucking Left 4 Dead release date. I can't spell release for shit. So this game came out in 2009
Right. Wow.
for PC. Yeah, it came out in 2009 for PC. Came out in 2008 as a
Console,
disc.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, it originally came out in 2008, which is when I got it, because I got it for Xbox.
Yeah.
And so if we look at October 2008 versus, we'll just say October 2013 is kind of when a lot of these games were still coming out. So, I mean, you've got a 5-year period here where they're still releasing zombie games.
State of Decay, Last of Us.
And, I mean, some of those are really good. Those 2, specifically, some of my favorite zombie games. State of Decay was great. Multiplayer would have been awesome, but, you know, what can you do about it? Last of Us, great. Left 4 Dead 2, not bad, but I wouldn't call it groundbreaking is probably my biggest complaint. It wasn't a bad game, but it wasn't anything...
It almost...
revolutionary.
It kind of just almost felt like a sequel to a movie almost. It just kind of got you hyped for the next one.
Well, but that's the big joke, right? Because
Yeah.
that was their levels. They were movies with posters.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it was okay, but it wasn't groundbreaking, and I fear that Left 4 Dead 3 will be much of the same. I mean, yes, I'll get it, I'll stream it, I'll play it, we'll play with viewers, it'll be great for a week.
Yeah.
But I'm not...
then it'll be irrelevant.
Yeah, I'm not thinking it's going to be...
Here's what I think. I want to see what's different or special about this new engine that they got working.
Oh yeah, I forgot the...
Yeah, Source 3.
Because, yeah.
Source Engine's coming out too.
Because that might make it, like, revolutionary, different, or something special.
Well, I'm waiting for game designers to take these fucking engines and just start putting in environmental shit in their games.
Yeah.
Like, some games go, oh, like, you can shoot the explosive barrels, or if you hit the stick, the rocks fall down. I want to actually be able to fuck with shit. When I throw a grenade, I want to see the concrete split. I want to see, like, buildings go, or I want to see, like, special things that you can break or get into or use that actually affect the environment. I know the engines can run it now.
To Destiny.
Yeah. Now the engines can run it, especially, you know, in PC, it can run it perfectly. You know, consoles with the next gen, quote unquote.
But this goes back to, like, well, how much, like, realism, like, for all you know, like, people are just gonna chuck grenades at one spot and, like, turn it into Minecraft all of a sudden, where you're just blowing out chunks.
How much realism do you want in your game?
I would love to see that.
That would be funny as all hell, to be honest. Like, it's a
Post-apocalyptic.
Thank you. I speak English good. And then all of a sudden you get to see guys like, you know what, I'm going mine today, just throw grenades in a pile and to start, like, making a makeshift
Going
hole
down.
because there aren't shovels.
You want a good segue then?
Go for it.
Who here knows about Fortnite?
Nope.
Very little.
You're on your own here.
Oh,
I know
that's
very
the
little.
census the world over, and that pisses me off. So, not this year, not last year, but the year before, a trailer came out from Epic Games for their next title, the first one on their new engine, called Fortnite. Fortnite is a...
It's like 7 days, but a little bit longer.
It's a cartoonish animated style, but far more realistic than, say, Minecraft, doing the same thing. During the night, your base gets attacked by zombies of different kinds. Some teleport, some are huge, some have special abilities.
This is 7 days to die.
And during the day, you can go out and scavenge for supplies. However, it builds like Minecraft. So you get specific materials, and you could use them to craft and build. So what you do is, for instance, if you break down a tree, you get wood, so you can set up a wooden wall. When you set up a wooden wall, it's shitty. You can see through it. There's holes. But when you set up the wall, it gives you a grid. And you go, okay, wall. In this wall right here, I want to put a window, so it leaves you a hole. Over here, I want to put a door, so it puts in a door for you. And then you can build up, I want staircases. I want this to be a slanted wall. I can build a multi-tier house. Like, it runs... If anyone's ever taken architecture class, just an entry-level one, you'll know what AutoCAD is, and I've played with that program quite a bit. It runs a lot like AutoCAD does, but in a 3D world, so you can just map out, build, design, slap this down, slap that down. It looked fucking amazing.
But...
Nothing... E3 came, the next year rolled around, E3 came again, no information on it. E3 went to roll around again this year, and just... I want to say just after it, there was another convention, and they released 200 to 300 alpha keys to first come, first serve basis to their booth. Whoa. That's the last I've heard of it since then.
Wow, it's just now getting to alpha keys.
So the issue is, apparently, because I had Brandon do a little bit of digging, and that man can find any information on the internet, is it's good.
I'd be concerned about that.
The game is pretty much ready. The issue is difficulty curve. They cannot get the game to stay difficult or even worthy after a little while. It's either too hard in the beginning, or just there's no point even fighting the enemies at the end because it's just too easy. And they want to design a game around it. And the issue is, I think they just need to design Minecraft around it, where you just do shit, build shit, and have fun, where they want the enemies...
And have hazards.
Yeah, they want the enemies to still matter progressively. Whereas I don't even care about the enemies, because the building system in this game looked so amazing. It wasn't even funny. Like, it was great. Like, for example, I was watching somebody build a house. And they show in the beginning that they're building this house, and they go up and they're putting in their sticks. And they're like, I'm going to put my stairs up here. And then upstairs, I'm going to put in slanted walls for the roof, so that on the outside, the roof is actually fucking slanted. And I'm going to build it out, and then on my roof, I'm going to put in a hole, so that I can get onto the roof with my sniper rifle and shoot at zombies. Alright, sweet. So they're out on the roof shooting at zombies, and then it shows them going into the city and, like, blowing up a fucking convenience store and taking, like, all the extra supplies from it. And then it's like, okay, so here's you fighting in your shitty wooden house. And then they did kind of a pan around and a fast forward. And it shows them standing on, like, the edge of, like, a 20-story, like, steel structure that looked like evil Gothic with, like, traps they've built all through the bottom for the zombies. And it's like, holy shit! And they've got, like, a turret built and, like, a sniper watch house up top. I'm like, it looks so cool! And nobody talks about this game. It fell off the face of the earth. And I want to see that. And then they started pushing out similarities. Like, you kept talking about 7 Days to Die comes out, and it's Rust. It's a lot like that. I guess so is Rust, except this game looked so much better, like, graphically and physically, and it seemed to run better, whereas these other games are essentially just mods. I mean, 7 Days to Die is a mod. Rust is made by the guy from Garry's mod, but it's still a mod-style game. It's not like a polished game. And that's what a lot of the indie games have become lately. And I'll still play them. They're fun as hell, but this is an actual, like, multi-million-dollar publisher releasing a really nice-looking game, and we don't get that.
I have a bone to pick with, like, indie games that, like, use, like, Kickstarter for... Like, there's a reason, like, there's some developers who, like, put some money, like, yeah, we need, like, $20 and all that, and then just leave the game in the alpha stage. Like, what, for example, MechWarrior Online. How long has that game been in beta? Or open beta? It has been in, like, beta for, like, over a year now.
More than that, I think, but I mean, you see that a lot.
They just milk the beta system, like, oh, we're always changing, but it's still beta, it's not finished. But they have the in-game store where you can buy shit and all this is beta, so everything is subject to wipe. And a beta is, like, essentially what a person should be paid to play, or at least get free money to, like, check out the market and all that, see how it looks and
is
all that.
Minecraft even out of beta?
Minecraft is out beta. They finished 2 years ago, I believe.
Yeah. Minecraft is out of beta.
Yeah, Minecraft has the official release, but it was in beta for a very long time.
But the difference being with Minecraft was that they didn't have an in-game store where you have to, like, either pay real life money to, And this also goes to Hearthstone because even though it's done really well.
Well, they're keeping that, right? Like when the game comes out, they're giving you all of.
They're
your
not gonna hard wipe everything. Like, oh, there goes all your cards and shit. That's different.
No,
but
it's like here's 10,000 coins and the money you spent.
Minecraft did it beautifully because they were constantly doing updates, staying involved with the community, and there were noticeable changes. I mean, if you look at Minecraft at the start compared to now.
Oh yeah, like I had Minecraft Alpha on my phone for quite a while, and even just between that and the current beta release at the time was just night and day.
Yeah.
It's just like I feel like it's a trend where like gamers or game developers are like, you know what? I don't have to. I can make a very half-assed program. I already got the money. I can bail. And it seems like there's no way to incentivize and make an incentive for them. For some developers.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing. Like when you look at, I can't remember the names of those fucking zombie games I was just playing. Like 7 Days to Die. 7 Days to Die. 7 Days to Die is an alpha.
It's a Kickstarter project too.
But I mean, if you go to it, to buy it on Steam is $35.
Which is a bit much.
I mean, you're paying for beta. I mean, yes, you get the game when it comes out, but you're paying what is really full price for this game because there's no way they'll ever charge $60 for this game. So you're paying full price for this game to play it a little bit early. I mean, it's kind of cool that you can play a game early, but at the same time, just crazy fucking expensive for nothing. You're not even a quarter of the way down your game. Like, if you look at the maps, there's, like, not that many fucking buildings. There's storyline, quote-unquote, basically non-existent. There's a couple of notes on corpses, I think, that'll kind of tell you what happened.
But essentially, like, you're still paying to, like, screw around with their game and give feedback.
Well,
yeah.
I think what started all this, like, early access, like, you know, Starbound and...
it was Minecraft.
Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't see that until Minecraft.
Well, it's the same thing I was talking about before, though. It's the hype of a game before it comes out.
Yeah.
And the only way really to get around that is these
gamers to be patient.
Is these, because when you get them, it's not, oh man, I'm so hyped and waiting for this game. It's, oh man, I can actually play this game a little bit. But then when the game actually comes out, you've already played it. It's not like, hey, there's this kind of cool shit going on. It's, no, I've done this. Game over. Well,
there's some, like, redeeming, like, it depends, like, hey, we just added multiplayer now on release, or hey, we added more features or new game modes and shit like that. There is, like, still ways to spice it up. It just has to be done, like, right, where it's still, like, it's functional, you're getting something out of the beta, and you're not just milking it for money.
Yeah, it drives me up the wall.
What's that game that started on Kickstarter? When its goal was like $1 million.
There was Mighty Number 9, Star Citizen.
Star Citizen, that's the one. And they took it off Kickstarter, and they put it onto their website, and it's gained like over $40 million.
That game, from what I hear, it's going free to play.
I would hope so.
I'm pretty sure it's going free to play. And
I mean,
it has a lot of promise to it.
I mean, like, they make $1 million every week from donations.
Yeah, donations. Well, it has a lot of potential, that one, at least.
I don't doubt it doesn't have any potential, but that's just still, you gotta think. Close to $40 million.
The thing with, like, Kickstarter and all that, you need a playable build. And people need to see what they can do and the potential. Because if you don't have a playable build, you're just pitching them an idea.
Yeah.
And it hinges on that idea working.
Which is what people have been doing for years, except normally you pitch this idea to a high-class developer, and they take years of knowledge on other games and tell you whether or not they think it's a good idea. I mean, yes...
It's a publisher they pitch it to, dude.
Yeah, sorry. They are the developer. They pitched... You know what I mean.
Yeah,
but, we understand.
What was the example? I can't remember the name of this game. Some game just came out, and I was looking at it on... fucking Steam the other day. It's a sequel to a game that came out in like the 80s. I'll see if I can find the name here in a second, but It comes out, and one of their ads they had for it was hilarious.
It was a little kid as a publisher.
Yeah, who they're talking to, and they're like, "Oh, I got this," and the kid's like, does it do? And he's like listing all like the AAA games, and he's like, "Well, no," and he's like, anything similar that I might know? He's like, "What about this, this, or this?" He's like, I don't recognize those names. What other games have you done? And he's listing all these old games that I used to play and loved.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, I don't recognize any of those either, so I don't really think so. He's like, the fans are begging for this game. Yeah, I don't give a shit. And I mean, you feel bad for this company, because obviously this is a shot at all the people they've gone and talked to and tried to get, information out to, get our game, and nobody gives a shit. So
it's all about money, because at the end of the day, publishers want to make money. I mean, look at Guns of Icarus. Originally, they had a publisher, but the publisher wanted anime chicks with huge boobs on it, and pretty much just bastardized the game.
Yeah.
But they didn't want to do it. Well, they pretty much told them to fuck off, and they went indie, and it got a lot of support and all this. The game still has ways to go. Like, still has like they apparently put in like an adventure like mode where it affects conflict and stuff, but it's still, it shows potential and the dedication. Like, I even talked to one of the public relations and the marketing guy. Like, I was involved in the early alpha for it, and I was like, I told him, like, this game has a lot of potential. I'm like, the only thing that concerns me is marketing. Like, how you gotta get this product out, and sure enough, like, they got YouTubers like Kraken, the Yogscast, like all these other popular YouTubers, and it worked. I'm like, hey, it's just that now it's just like it's stale and just needs to like get more.
Even the YouTubers now, like Yogscast is trying to make a game. I saw that on Kickstarter.
Oh dear.
YouTube is another topic we could go on.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. Like, you segued into how they used YouTube to kind of build themselves up. And we were just talking about this the other day on stream about how there was that big shit going on right now with YouTube and all the copywriting. And I've had people ask me, like, oh, have you been hit by that? Hell yes, like several times. It's not an uncommon thing, but I don't monetize any of my videos, so it doesn't affect me. It will once I figure out how exactly all this shit works and deal with my monetization, but it's everywhere. And we were talking about that really bad shit where different companies are flagging monetization on shit they don't own.
Yeah.
So, like, there was that one company, we were listening to the other cast on YouTube, where the guy comes in and he's talking about how they made games like Hotline Miami, and they own all their shit. And a bunch of videos with Hotline Miami got flagged for audio files and not belonging to the person that posted the video. But they didn't flag them. They have nothing to do with this.
There was a story where an indie, sorry for interrupting, an indie guy was, I forgot the name. He made his own game. He posted it on YouTube to, like, for advertisement. And it got flagged and it said it's owned by Sony. And then he posted on his Twitter and he's like, no, I own this game. I made it.
But I mean, they're taking that shit down.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Technical difficulties.
There it is.
He will be lynched.
No, like, the big one that I was laughing at a lot that we were talking about before is the Angry Video Game Nerd.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't have the facts in front of me. Who the hell source checks? But, I mean, they're talking about how he joined up with an actual big company. Like, he signed up with them. So all of his property intellectually on YouTube became their property.
Cinemassacres.
And hilariously enough, their bots pinged all of their new content as being, theirs, and shut his entire channel down for 3 days. They killed their own channel because of their damn fucking anti-copyright bots. How sad is that? Like, what are we getting to where people are just fucking...
It's a blanket system right now. Like, friggin' TotalBiscuit, he got hit by day one Garry incident.
You guys were talking about this earlier, but I wasn't in the room, and I don't know what you're talking about. So what is this that he got hit by?
Can I say?
No.
All right, day one Garry incident. It was pretty much a guy who wanted to make this game and all this other shit. And it was a really shitty game. If you haven't seen the video, just look up TotalBiscuit's review and reaction to the video getting pulled down. And he does a review, pretty much says, "Don't buy it. It's a fucking piece of shit. It's buggy and this, that, and the other thing. It's a shit." And the guy, he had he sent him a review copy of the game.
Mhm.
He posted on Steam forums that you can use gameplay footage for reviews and stuff. Despite
he gave him the green light to do this.
Yeah, despite all of that, because his was the #1 rated video, and that's where everyone was going to see the video, and it was a negative review. He flagged it for copyright, saying he was making money off his intellectual property.
Oh, wait, there's the video.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll save the link to post in the description
Yeah.
afterwards, but I'm not going to click on it right now.
You have a lot of videos posted in this links.
Well, I'm going to have to listen to this whole thing later and figure out what the fuck's going on. Anyway, you continue.
So pretty much, the internet pretty much called him out on his bullshit and the game tanked. Which goes back to public relations.
Yeah. Well, this guy was basically he was just a, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a self-publisher, basically?
Yeah.
He doesn't have a public relations team, which he needs.
He was the PR team.
Yeah.
That's the big thing that we've talked about a lot before in streamers, in YouTubers, in companies, is when you start making it, you have to take public relations as you are the bottom of the barrel. People come to you to see shit, but that doesn't mean that you're, the head honcho. You're not the big guy up here. You're below the viewers. They use you for entertainment. And you have to accept that A, they're using you for entertainment, and B, that if somebody disagrees with you, and they will disagree with you, there's a whole cracked article that I was reading about this where, and I've talked about it before, that viewers, people that take a look at something that's made by people that are making shit, they're always going to be somebody that tells you it's shit because they're not making anything. And when you're not making anything, you have to call other people out on being shit for what they've made to make yourself feel better, whether you do it subconsciously or not. And you're going to have to accept that people are going to hate you. You can't make anything in this world without having somebody absolutely hate it and or you.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to take those people, nod and go, that's your opinion. I mean, that sucks, but whatever. I'm still doing what I'm doing. I'm not going to get discouraged. I'm going to keep pushing that shit out. Man up, there are people out there that like this, and whereas the naysayers are always going to be louder, there's somebody there. Just to hear that they're there is amazing. Just to hear stuff from them, like when I get off streaming some days, our intrepid young Jew here will get a hold of me and be like, yo, dude, good show, good on ya. Every time I get off stream, Medic will be like, thank you for streaming. It feels good to hear that. You're doing a good thing. But then you've also got people that are sending you messages going, you fucking suck, I hope you die, burn in hell, and you have to take a look at their stuff and go, whatever, that'll happen. Best to you. If you didn't like it, don't come back. If you did, come back, have fun, doesn't matter to me, and move on. You can't get a hold of these people and be like, I swear to fuck, I'll find out where you live, murder your dog, and bury you in the backyard, you fucking asshole. You can't do that.
And then someone takes the bite just from that.
There was an
sorry
for interrupting. There was an indie movie that came out. It was like a game developer. It was a big spiel over
You're
a guy.
interrupting my interruption.
I am. It's what I do. I interrupt your interruption.
Out of context.
All right, just go. Oh, wait.
No, he's just making fun of me. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Go on.
There was a movie that came out recently. It's about indie publishers and all that, like game developers. And there was this guy. I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's killing me. It was on Angry Joe's Top 10 Controversies, and the guy canned it because the developer who was making it snapped. He fucked up on answering questions and couldn't, he just was terrible with people.
So he became Michael Bay?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
And he was like, fuck it, it's over, I'm taking the money and leaving. And he said, you have won. to the internet and all this shit. It was it was awful.
But I mean,
I'll see if I can find the name and I'll send it to you guys.
yeah. But I mean, if you do something and somebody starts making fun of you, either like this is shit, screw you. If you accept that and be like, whatever your opinion.
But if they're right,
like I mean,
sort of deal.
Yeah, like that's always going to be in the back of your head. Like somebody hates me. What am I doing wrong? Oh god, oh god, oh god. But if you snap at them and you freak the fuck out at them, well, A, yeah, they win. But B, the people that currently like you are going to see the other side of you that nobody wants to see, and they're not going to like you as much, or maybe not even at all anymore. And that's so much worse than just accepting that some asshole somewhere dislikes you. I mean, I yell at people from time to time. I don't do it in an angry way. I'll just screw with somebody. Like, we got, that guy came into my channel the other day. I don't remember what we were talking about. I don't know. Every time we get into actual important topical discussions, like when me, John, and Brandon were talking about religion, gay marriage, the top 3 that is the unholy trinity of shit going on in the world right now that nobody can talk about because we're not adults. Every single time that happens, I have somebody pop in. They're like, "Yo, would you kindly shut the fuck up and go back to playing the?"
Oh, okay. I'm just talking about.
Yeah, and we got that one guy in the other day while I was playing Payday, and a medic's like, fuck you, you're a bitch, and I'm like, no, don't ban him, don't ban him.
Oh.
It was Fez 2 by Phil Fish.
I banned him in the end.
You really wanted to, but basically it's you let these people come in and banning them. Yeah, okay, sure, that's a tactic. You can just get rid of them, be done. I get bored though, and I like to fuck with people. So I just made fun of him for 45 seconds because I know that the delay is like 30, and by the time he catches up, I'm on a new topic. And sure enough, he fucking tried to defend himself by being more of an asshole, and then he left. And I had more fun. The viewers enjoyed it. It was good times. But I was fucking with him. I wasn't angry, and at any point in time, I could have gone, all right, you know what, maybe I stepped too far. Maybe he said something to make me realize I was in the wrong, and I could be like, yeah, I'm sorry. But he was a dick. We ended up banning him. That was it. I had fun. The viewers had fun. Yay. But if I had gone off on him, like, you know what? You're just a little fucking asshole. Fuck you. How dare you come into my shit and fuck with me? Who the fuck do you think you are? That just looks bad.
You can't take anything as a personal attack either. I mean,
no, you can't, and a lot of people do.
Yeah, that's the main thing. It's just like take it with a grain of salt. If anything, like if there are people with legitimate grievances, those are the people you should listen to and see.
Oh, yeah, like if somebody comes into my channel at any point in time and goes, "Yo, your mic is really, really loud. Can you turn that down?" I'd be like, "Oh yeah, like I'm so sorry. Let me, turn down my levels or something." If somebody comes into my channel and goes, "Oh my god, shut the fuck up, you were so fucking," like, I'm not going to talk to them. But if I hear somebody who actually has an issue and comes in and they're like, "Oh my god, like that's really loud." When I started, and this will happen to anybody when somebody is naysaying you, you'd read that and be like, fuck you, I'm fine, no one else has complained, you're an asshole. But if you take the time to be like, "Yo, guys, he thinks I'm really loud," like, am I? And if people are like, maybe a touch, I can be like, okay, like, I didn't know, my apologies, I can't hear myself, let me just, turn that down for you. Like, there's been a few times where people have been like, "You're really quiet," and I'm like, "Well, no one else has said shit, fuck you." Oh, maybe I should check. Oh, yeah, my levels are like half of what they normally are, and no one said anything, because that'll happen. Let's just turn that back up.
Let's see, is there any other topics we have not touched on?
I wanted to add on to the, like, what you were
Medic.
saying. God damn it!
Medic hasn't said, like, shit in a while, so what's going on, dude?
Yeah.
I was going to add onto something, but as you continued on, I lost that train of thought.
Do feel free to, at any point in time, cut me off. Because if you haven't noticed, I talk a lot.
No, that's good. That's we need someone.
But I mean, if I start going off on a tangent like I am right now, and you have a thought, just say something. And I might just finish my sentence, but otherwise I'm going to be like, "Oh yeah, like, I'm sorry," but like, I'll try and remember what I'm talking about and do say what you have to say, and then we'll swap back into something so that I don't... This is our first goddamn attempt at a podcast. Anyone who bothers to listen to this, thank you. Oh god, thank you. But we don't know what the hell we're doing.
Rate,
I'm
comment, and
not
subscribe
really
down
much of
below.
a I'm not really much of an opinion in this. I'm more of just a smartass in the background.
You are fucking smart ass.
Just to be fair.
Yeah.
Do we want to touch on any CES stuff?
CS stuff? I don't
Yeah.
know. Is there anything? Well, I
thought-
mean,
Well, I mean the VR suit.
that's the big one that I wanted to touch on. That and the Oculus Rift got best item at CES.
Yeah.
Like those are the two big things. That VR suit looks great.
It does.
I fear that it might go the way that the omnidirectional trackpad did, though. Because that treadmill looked great, sweet. I thought it was a cool idea, despite being a little expensive. It went to like Shark Tank or Dragon's Den or something like that, and they just destroyed it. They're like, this is a terrible investment. This is just bad. And I was listening to their points, and it was like, this product doesn't have a purpose.
Right.
It's an attachment for another product, and it costs a shit ton of money. It takes up a lot of space. The average consumer is not going to be able to have a place to put it or afford it. One of the two is not a good idea. The VR suit, way smaller, better idea, does the whole body, but at the same time, I don't know if it's just going to be another gimmicky thing, because I was looking at the Rift and some of their new updates to the system. They now have motion sensors all around the outside of the front that calibrate when you move your head around, so that it knows when you've leaned forward or when you've leaned back. So instead of just looking around, now you can actually like lean out and look around a corner in the game, and the game will know that you've leaned.
I feel
That's pretty hectic.
Yeah,
That would be
that's cool.
fun for zombie.
Yeah.
It's either like horror games, like
I feel like
Oh, you've pulled yourself out there.
yep, good game.
He had a point, and then he just...
That's what you get for interrupting me, you son of a bitch. How dare you? But like I remember seeing it on the news, like virtual reality, like that was a big thing in the 80s, and it kind of died off because the technology wasn't there. Well, now the technology is there, and the potential for it, like.
Well, I mean, I always talked about it when I was in school. As we were growing up, that was the big thing that was in the back of everybody's mind, and the star-eyed fucking stories we'd tell about what we think it'll be like, and virtual reality is going to be so cool, and can you imagine actually going in here and playing this game? Like, that would be so much more fun, but, I mean, this is fun, but that would be so cool. And I quoted it. I don't know what I quoted it at, but we were in high school, and I was like, in the next 10 years, it'll happen. It'll be in our lifetime. It'll be like 10 years from now. We'll have this thing, and it'll be so cool, but it won't be any time before that. Like 10, I thought maybe was stretching it, and now the Rift's come out. And I graduated in 2009, so I'm 5 years in now, and
Called it.
Called it.
It's here, so it's surprising. It's come quicker than I thought it would. I mean, it's getting there. It's a mask right now, and we're kind of building up theories on other ones, and I want full inside immersion VR, but until we get into neuroscience, that's not going to fucking happen. And I'm not expecting that for quite a while. But this is just amazing over the last few years how this has just taken off. Like, a couple of years ago, I was living with the guys, I wasn't at home anymore, and we still had the Kickstarter for the Rift. And I missed it by like a fucking week. And I had the money on me to put forth enough to get a dev kit from their Kickstarter. And if I had known, I missed it by like a week, and I was so fucking pissed. But I'm glad that I missed it. Because as cool as it would have been to have an early model and to talk about it and to know more and to be in it, I wasn't streaming at the time. I wasn't into this kind of thing. I wouldn't have been able to put that information to any actual use. And now, looking at it and looking at all the changes they've gone through, it's so much more worth it to have waited. Because this new Crystal Cove is what they're calling their new model. I linked it to you guys. You can read it after we're done here, I guess, or you can try and flick through it now. It's amazing. It's full 1080p, OLED. It's got that lean thing I was talking about. They're talking about how it makes a 55-inch TV look small and constricting. And it's just amazing.
Wait, they've actually managed to do 1080p?
Yeah, it's 1080 now.
Damn!
There's a lot of money
away.
going into the Oculus Rift.
Well, what are they at right now that I was just looking at? So Oculus Rift had raised more than $2 million on Kickstarter and caught the attention of John Carmack, who I follow on Twitter and is now their CTO.
It's now raised over $90 million.
Yeah, now they're over 90 million. They've sold 50,000 units to developers. They're looking into like mechanical, medical. NASA has units now that they want to try and give people virtual tours of the space station.
That would be cool.
Like, it's it's taking off. It's not just gaming. Virtual reality is becoming a thing for everybody. And that's scary and amazing.
At the same time.
Like, our entire world in probably just another 5 years' time is going to be completely different. And it's going to be the first steps into, I mean, gushing for all the sci-fi fanboys, not so much myself because I'm not a super sci-fi fanboy, but you're getting your first step towards what they've always wanted.
Yeah.
The actual sci-fi experience in the real world. Like, a couple of years ago, there was all that smart glass technology, which is currently being worked on. It's getting better.
Google Glass?
No. There was a commercial that I saw, and not only did I see it, I went and looked it up a couple times myself, but I actually saw it in a fucking movie theater once. And the ad rolls up where it's like a husband and wife sleeping in their bed. And then it's time for them to get up, and one of the walls is glass leading outside.
I've seen this.
Yeah, and it goes from really dark to see-through, so the light can be let in. Because the glass knows that it's, 8 o'clock in the morning, it's time for you guys to get up. And he gets up, and he's like, okay, and he does something, and one of the walls, the TV kind of appears on it. Because it's glass. And it's just part of the wall. And he's like, okay, so they're looking at that, and then he goes into the bathroom, and he's, like, brushing his teeth, and he pops up a TV on the mirror, and he's, like, moving that around, and, like, checking his stuff on the counter. And, like, grandma calls, and they take the phone, and they're talking, and they're like, okay, and they put the phone on the table, and slide grandma's video stream off the phone onto the table, and expand it for the kids to look at. And we're like, wow, like, that's sci-fi as shit. And they're like, no, this is actually a thing we can do, and we're thinking about turning in, like, every bus stop out of one of these so it can show the schedules on it.
If you're from around here, it's the worst idea to do a bus stop with technology on it.
That's what I thought, right? Like, I thought, you're putting something in, like, in a bus stop. Like, that bus stop's going to get fucked up. This thing's going to get destroyed. It's a waste of money. But they quoted it as being, like, the same price as a regular bus stop.
Huh?
Yeah, it's not expensive, apparently. It's glass. And they're like, yeah, you can roll it up and bend it and shit, and it's just about as expensive as glass. And I'm like, what? Like, that can't be real. And they're like, oh, no, it's totally a thing. We're working on it. We'll get back to you. And as you watch more of this stuff come out, this glass...
I just found it, yeah.
Yeah, this glass is coming along. It's becoming more of a thing. Like, they're talking about the new foldable phones. Like, they're going to be basically made out of a pane of glass, and you can, like, crush them in half.
LG, just released that phone that was curved for whatever reason.
Yeah, and you can bend it, too.
Yeah.
And...
By the way, there's the video in chat.
Yeah, like, it's and it's looking amazing. It's just groundbreaking shit. And this all just kind of slides off into the void for a little while while we look at all these fancy things like the Razer Naboo and all the wearable tech that's coming out and Google Glass, and then you'll be like, all right, I haven't heard about this story in like 2 or 3 years. What's going on? You'll go like kind of search it a little bit and be like, and they've got all this backing and all this hidden background stuff's going on, and they're coming out and they're pushing and they're making a move, and someday soon we can have this technology. And that just sounds amazing, because I originally assumed, like Medic did, that it would be an expensive endeavor. Why change a bus stop into something like this when drunk idiots are going to break it at 2 o'clock in the morning and cost like $1 million to a bus stop?
Yeah.
When it's the cost of glass. And that's fucking awesome.
Like, I'm watching a video now, and it's showing like the kid messing around with the fridge, and it has like these basically just videos of moments that they've captured.
Yeah, like childhood memories instead of pictures and shit. They're just playing on the fridge.
And that's something that's coming, and I'm excited to see it, but I don't think a lot of us are going to see it at its full growth,
Yeah, that's why I was quoting things at about the next 5 years, because when I think about what's happened over the last 5 years, between my graduation, where people were still talking about, like, the first Black Ops and, like, Modern Warfare 1 as being amazing things, and Gears of War 2 was, like, the big blockbuster game, and now you take a look at Watch Dogs coming out, and the graphical engine going into the Division, and the Oculus Rift and this glass.
Yeah.
That's 5 years. That's it. Like,
technology innovation will never end. It's because of the way social media and communication, how fast innovations is going on and on.
But I mean, I don't want it to end. The thing that's holding a lot of people back right now, though, is batteries.
Yeah.
Because batteries haven't really been evolving. And they're working on new tech. I couldn't source you this at all if I tried, but I was hearing about new batteries that basically charge in like an instant, and they give you full like iPhone battery life by just you're done.
Yeah, I've seen that.
They're talking about just putting these stations out to the public. So you'd get these new batteries, you'd get these new things, and they'll just be in every mall. There'll be like a charging station. You're just like, shit, my phone's dying. You walk over and bam, charged. Cool, like we'll go.
Like,
Oh, sorry. I was
no,
gonna.
no, no.
This is completely random whatsoever, but Watch Dogs, the cell phone thing to use abilities and shit, it has a bar at the bottom that recharges over time. Completely random and out of place. just saying that because we're on battery life, so
Yeah.
somehow related, not really, but there you go.
But I mean, right now our tech has to be held back because it can't compete with draining battery life. But
Yeah.
hello?
Yeah.
Have you guys seen Almost Human? It's a show from
that I
I've
have.
heard of it, but no.
I don't watch a lot of TV, but I've heard of it. Yeah.
I would honestly recommend it because it's a fantastic show, and it's basically showing what our world will be. It's a cop. It's a great story about a cop, right?
Mhm.
But cops have to have partners that are robots.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing the trailers for this.
Yeah. Well, this cop doesn't like the robots they have, so he goes to a guy and he gives him one of the old models that's supposed to be like really that can go crazy and things like that. And it's just basically the chemistry between a human and a robot. You know.
Oh man, Will Smith.
Well, yeah, but but the robot that this cop is paired with has a thing called synthetic soul, and it basically experiences human emotions.
Yeah.
And it is almost like iRobot in a sense, yes. But it's showing what the world can look like, and it like in one of the very first episodes, I think. I'm sorry if this is going to spoil anything from you.
Oh, if you're listening, pause it for a minute, I guess, or watch
skip
the
ahead
bloody
of-
show and come back.
Yeah.
Turn mute on, and we'll give you a notification when the spoilers are over.
But
Jared, get to that.
Fine.
But I won't say what happens. A traumatic experience happens to the cop in the very first episode, and he goes to this black market doctor, I guess you could say, and he's in this thing, and he's reliving the memory constantly, trying to remember what happened and see if he can trying to learn from it. And I'm like, that's going to happen. It was kind of like Total Recall. It's going to happen.
Well, I mean,
Like,
I used to do that.
That kind of reminds me of a game that I saw called Remember Me.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
You reckon some shit like that's gonna be a thing?
It's possible.
Could be. I mean, the way human
Very
bodies are built, there's no reason that isn't possible.
No.
Motherfucker, I want an animus.
Doesn't everybody?
Both.
Anybody that plays the game, don't they want an animus?
Which kind of reminds me, like, raises an interesting point for me, considering it's like reliving like ancestral beings and shit like that.
Well, yeah,
Could I just relive my dad or something when he was like half an hour ago? Is that a thing?
Wouldn't it
Well,
have
no. The way I see it
No,
is
not
like,
really.
to be pre your birth?
Yeah.
It's basically
It'd be
I
like.
think they explained it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I mean,
But they kind of explained it in the side stories of Assassin's Creed 4, and the fact that you can go back only so far and only to certain people, I would assume.
Well, no. It was just like moments that they'd done before you were born in the genetic makeup.
Yeah.
so Medic, if you're really fucked up, you could go back to the night your dad fucked your mom prior to your birth and relive that awesome night of sex. But that's only if you're really fucked up.
Well, I think Attic is.
Technology.
Making you screw your mother since abstergo.
So you guys know we've hit an hour and a half, right?
Have we?
Yeah.
You
We're
want
already
in there?
talking about screwing our mothers and our fathers' bodies.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
it's official. We ran out of shit to talk now.
Do we want to go at an hour and a half, or do we want to run it to 2?
It's really up to you.
Yeah, like,
I don't have
are we going to, like, we were loaded when it came to this point. Will we be loaded every time? Don't
Yeah.
giggle at that, come on.
Well, I mean, guys, we're literally just talking about. I mean, there was a little bit of CES stuff, but we're basically just talking about games that are coming out here soon.
Yeah.
We didn't even talk much about games we've played, except for the tiny little bit we talked about Assassin's Creed, a tiny bit on Payday, and then a mention of Last of Us and GTA. Other than that, we got lots to talk about. But
yeah, we can do a 2-hour thing.
yeah, we'll go to 2.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, if Medic, you don't have to slip off into your animus for a little bit of
Yeah, motherfucker.
mommy time.
nocturnal remembrance.
Mhm.
Ugh.
Well, because I'm in the future, I already have this technology.
Yeah,
No,
you're Australian. Come on, you've got
One-
this.
Yep.
For us.
Nothing completes a podcast like a slight bit of racism.
And incest.
Australians love
that's-
people.
yes.
That's not racism.
That's true.
G'day.
There goes the
G'day.
Australians.
If you
like
say
all
a
two
boot
of
one
them.
more fucking time, I swear to God, I'll fucking ears off.
Well, stop giving me the option to.
This is prior to podcast. All I heard. Jared's talking to boot something. Sorry, what?
Salmon is moving in Minecraft.
Oh, Salmon's back! Yay, Salmon! Anyway,
so games.
games?
Games.
Okay, well, I talked about it earlier. My top 3 this year were Payday, Last of Us, and Assassin's Creed, with just a close little bit of GTA right behind it. But what about you guys? Do you guys have any top 3 personal favorites or personal favorite of the year?
Personal favorites.
Juke, go ahead.
Well, Telltale's Walking Dead, was I like games with a fucking amazing story.
Right.
The reason that I liked The Last of Us, but wasn't my favorite, was because it was every generic zombie trope in existence. You know, it's the story. Come on, it was a stereotype. The girl's the only survivor, and or the cure. And
I don't
interesting
think it was about the story. It was the character.
No.
yeah, the characters were awesome, and
Yeah.
The Last of Us. Don't get me wrong, but the story, it's like, for me, I like the meat of the story and what's going on, and
Well, I mean,
like
I
You
guess
love the meat, don't you?
it is
not
kosher.
kosher, dude.
It is kosher.
No, but like that's what I was talking about. Is when I went through that game when I was playing it on stream, I called every big
Yeah.
story thing that happened except for the finale. I mean, how it ended, yes. I don't want to actually spoil anything. I mean, it's an older game, but once you get to the hospital, I was shocked for a second, very, very pissed off, and then I called
Murdering
everything else.
spree.
But I mean, most people that played the game were. They're like, "What? You're no, fuck you! You
Yeah.
can't just do this."
Fuck Joel.
But I mean,
Um,
do continue. I just kind of.
Yeah.
But the reason I'm picking The Walking Dead from Telltale Games, because there were more characters, and some of them were more I want to say invested into. Like, some of them were just really well written characters. Like
Yeah.
the ones Telltale's an amazing ability to make characters you just want to die
Well, it's
because
it's
they're
an,
assholes.
Yeah,
it's
that
an
is true.
old style of game. Like it really is a text adventure.
Yeah.
And I love
It
those
pretty
games.
much is.
I've got a shitload of them on my phone. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Choice of Games, but I play the shit out of their games because it's basically just like one of them is you're a dragon. What would you do? And you're like, oh shit, cool. Like, I'm gonna go fucking murder the princess and eat her knights, and that's an option. And it's a text adventure. But Telltale gives you a very stunning graphical element
Yeah.
to a text adventure that gives you all those like heart pounding moments. Like, oh fuck, like what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Especially the last chapter of Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Like that.
How it's like stumbling around and
Like the whole time you're like, what? I don't know what the fuck. Like, who's gonna
What's
die?
going
Am
on
I
right
gonna
now?
die? What's happening
Yeah,
to these
yeah,
people?
yeah, exactly.
It was great.
But and you are you done? By the way.
Yeah.
Chewy.
Yeah,
Chewy.
Joey.
Uh,
Chewbacca.
Chewbacca. Wonderful.
I'd say my top 3 would probably be Assassin's Creed. As much as I don't like, as much as the online disappoints me, the story of GTA 5 still is very, very, very good.
Well, I loved it, especially right near the beginning. They're like, hey, we're just gonna pull this house off a mountain.
Yep. And I I don't know if this is. I don't know if this was released this year, the past year or so, but Ascend Hand of Coal, an arcade game on the Xbox 360.
I haven't touched my 360 much. What's it about?
It's basically, I guess you can say, don't know the exact definition, but it's basically an RPG.
Mm-hmm.
You basically have three gods. You can you're a thing called a cog, I think, and you have these three gods you can dedicate yourself to: light, void, dark, or hell, something like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you can basically level up your character, and you do a thing called Ascent, which is you just basically go up to another level and blah 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 blah.
Sure.
Once you ascend, you can choose another god and another god and another god every time you ascend, and then you transcend. But in that time, you have to go around converting villages to that religion. So say I'm void, and I come across an area that's hell. I can fight that area's defender, and turn it. If I win, I can convert it to void. It's a very, very simple RPG almost. I'd like to call it.
Yeah.
Why does it kind of remind me of Spore?
I can understand that. I can understand what it could be reminded of Spore, but it's very fun and it's very grindy, but you don't feel like you're grinding.
Sounds like some old Flash games I used to slack off in school and play.
And it's got a very. I'll enjoy the graphical style of a kind of a cartoonish but yet very gory style.
Oh yeah, definitely sounds like those games.
Yeah. And you can walk around. I mean, you're like compared to the villagers that you convert, you're pretty massive. So you can walk around, pick up a villager, rip off its head, and eat it, and gain experience.
Now it sounds like Black and White.
So,
if you can't tell, I really enjoy these kinds of games.
I mean, it's definitely something to check out. It's very fun. It's free to play, but it's still in its beta, so they're kind of testing things out still. But it's still very stable. It's very stable. So it's a lot of fun.
I'm gonna have to try that out. Medic, do you have, I don't know, a favorite, 3 favorites, just something in your top for this year?
Oh shit! For this year?
Well, 2013, not the last fucking 10 days.
Yeah.
Did anything come out in the last week that you really fucking liked?
Good boy.
Shiz. God, I don't know. Like, I always really highly anticipate the Assassin's Creed game. So, like, Black Flag, I thoroughly enjoyed when I managed to actually get my hands on a PC version of it. Even though that was
my stream for like 2 weeks. You're like, nope, playing Assassin's Creed, fuck off.
Yeah,
Bye,
I really enjoy. Yeah, like I didn't want any spoilers. I didn't want to accidentally catch on something that could potentially ruin a surprise for me or like what's going on. I know. And I can say that now.
I was yelling that from the first time I ever saw her. I was like, that's not a man. That's not a man. That's not a man. Oh my god, that wasn't a man.
Yeah. Okay, I know you're talking about Kid.
Spoilers.
Spoilers. Oh well.
Anyway, sorry.
Jared, I know it's a bit too late, but put that icon back on the screen.
Assassin's Creed spoilers incoming.
Incoming 3 seconds ago. So just rewind the video and pretend you didn't hear it.
Yeah, just pretend you didn't hear it. Go back. We're sorry. I'm sorry. Fuck it. I don't care.
I think everyone knows at this point.
Yeah.
If you haven't played,
I'm the one late to the.
But
fuck it.
Go play.
There was one game I forgot to mention because I know Jared. I begged him for eventually to play it, but he never did because he's a son of a bitch. The Stanley Parable.
Oh, that.
Oh, the Stanley Parable.
That game is
one
of the greatest. That is, it's amazing. Just the sheer cleverness of the writing.
Yeah.
And
Jared, you love storyline games. You love that game.
Oh, I mean, I probably would, but I just when he wanted me to play it, it was just a mod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was still
and
amazing.
now it's a thing.
I really didn't want to go look up a mod and figure out the process to play it. And then it came out as a game, but he wasn't around for a little while right when it came out, so I was like, oh, that's what he was talking about. Yeah, I don't know.
Still should check it out eventually, if not, make a YouTube video about it.
I mean,
Yes.
I haven't played, like, I can't talk about games really highly. Those ones that I've, like, haven't played personally, so I can't, like... But it does look pretty good.
I
Like, I've
don't
seen a
wanna
couple of
s-
other people play it. I really don't want to spoil it, but I can't hold myself, like, from watching these videos because the humor in it's just so clever. And
Yeah.
just, like, the way it's run, like, even, like, the achievements in it are just funny.
The best way to
It's-
go at those games though is like not knowing anything about it
Yeah.
and just go straight in.
because it's hilarious the writing on it. I think it won like it was a contender for one of the best story
Yeah.
games, which by the way
Yeah.
forgot BioShock Infinite.
Oh,
Which you
Uh,
hated this one ending, but let's be honest, like about that whole ending and choices shit. I mean, it's either like you get the shit like Grand Theft Auto 3 did, or the latest Grand Theft Auto 3, not 5. Or
5 did that system, yes, and I apparently got the best ending right away.
yeah, but come on, like everyone's gonna pick the best one, which is
Apparently not, because we got a bunch of people coming into the channel afterwards going, "That's weird. Why are there?
Why
how
are
can
they
you do
there?"
that?" And I'm like, "Oh god,
oh God.
spoilers!" Well, no,
Uh.
I was mad about the ending because I get the ending. I do. I really do. It's a big old debate about spiral universes paralleling each other and all the different choices you make and what could have been and what is and what isn't all
Right.
being at the same time. And I get it, but the ending literally doesn't make sense because if they did what they did, none of the journey would have been impossible. And if the journey was impossible, you can't have the ending. And it was
I saw a video on this and it actually did make sense. Like, here's the best way to explain it. Like, say there's A reality and reality B, and person from reality B wants the kid because he fucked up something like yeah, he fucked up, and because he can't have a kid anymore because he's been fucking around too much with the timeline, he goes to the timeline A, and he takes the daughter, which is technically his.
By the way, spoilers.
Yeah, there's more spoilers.
oh whoopee! If you haven't played fucking BioShock by now, you can fuck off.
You haven't seen
But
the ending.
in the ending,
you know.
like the original, like person A, from where he got the guy who got fucked and lost his daughter.
Jew? To be honest with you, you're not making a bit of sense still.
All right, well, all right. The person, let's just say like
I get it. A stole daughter from B because B couldn't, or because fuck B and A couldn't have a kid, so he stole daughter. I get the story. The story makes sense.
just because one person from yourself from an alternate reality dies doesn't mean in this reality you're currently in, you would die.
Exactly.
It's a butterfly effect.
But your nose would bleed.
Which is why the ending didn't make any sense to me because everything's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't go back in time. They just went through the timelines, and he's like, all right, I'm going to kill myself. All this shit's already happened. And so you kill yourself. What happens to all the shit you've done? What happens to your daughter? Why would this destroy the other universes? That doesn't make any sense. You didn't go back to the beginning. You went back to the beginning in your timeline.
Yeah.
These things are still happening.
Yeah.
It's metaphysics, and you could argue it all day. I just really, really didn't like it, and I would have liked it if they had stayed with the multiple ending system, because that ending would have been like, oh wow, that's edgy and kind of catchy and cool. But here's the other ending where I don't fucking kill myself.
But you need a metaphysicist to come in here, explain it, and then argue about it.
They took the story out of your hands at the end.
Yeah.
And that was what pissed me off. You played the game, you made your decisions. I mean, yes, even if it's on a linear path, you still made those decisions. You felt good about what you were doing, and then after the final bout on the fucking airship, which, by the way, was a pain in the ass to do for me, and I don't know why.
It was a pain for everyone, actually.
And then you go forth, and here you are doing your thing, and now they've taken it from you. And here is the movie that the writing staff decided they wanted, or if I remember specifically, it was one guy decided they were going to have one ending. And it was their lead writer, I think, and he basically told everybody else, fuck you, this is what we're doing. And that was upsetting because in the other games there were multiple endings. Everyone kind of, I mean, most people went towards the Paragon better ending, and that was their favorite ending. But everyone had the ending they liked and the ones they did. And then this game comes out and it's just like, it doesn't fucking matter what you did. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter if you like it or not because
it almost felt like Mass Effect 3 in the sense of the endings.
Well, what happened with that, right?
Yeah.
It was all the games everywhere up to there had a full writing staff.
Yeah.
Then they got rushed by EA to push the game out, and 2 dudes wrote the ending.
Yeah.
And that was their agreement on how it should end, and the writing staff never got to see it. So it wasn't hashed out like the rest of the story. That's why it felt rushed and weird, and it was all basically the same ending, regardless of what one you picked.
Yeah, basically, regardless of what you did, you still basically got the same basic ending.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not one of those people that put, I wasn't a fan of the Mass Effect games. I would go and watch playthroughs. You know what I mean?
I fucking loved them, but yeah, no.
I just could never get into them. That's, So I would go watch the playthroughs, and I watched the playthrough for Mass Effect 3 of a guy that did basically what I would have done. Pick the choices I would have chose.
Yeah.
And at the end, he chose the ending I would have chose. I think it was a green ending.
Which was...
Like, I think it was the ending where you basically, again, spoilers, if you haven't played this game, then you're stupid.
It's old now. By now, it's not like the game came out last week. I mean,
We're just going to be
Assassin's
saying
Creed...
this with every game we're about to spoil.
No, because Assassin's Creed was the only one that's kind of newish. It's only in the last couple of months. All the other ones have been out for most of the year, or in this case, longer, and... Come on.
Yeah.
If you haven't played it or don't know about it, I'm sorry.
It was the one where you combined human and what was the other one called?
Geth or whatever. No.
No, the robots you made androids, basically.
Yeah, it was the Reaper DNA, I think.
Because
they're actually coming to kill you.
Yeah, he chose that, and so you got that one ending. You're like, oh, cool, okay, that was a cool ending. I liked it. Well, then you go watch the other endings, and you're like, what? Why do I get the same thing?
The same with a different color scheme.
Yeah. You basically get the 2 people walking out of the ship, hold hands, and look up at the sky. And you're like,
yeah,
okay.
And when you take a look at that, they're now stranded. You're dead, and fuck.
Yeah. It's like, well, no more Mass Effects.
Well, that's not true.
No?
No, there's another Mass Effect coming.
Oh God.
It's being worked on right now. It will be a new cast, new characters, same world.
Oh, wonderful.
So that was kind of always their plan. The Shepard storyline is done. If you watch the bonus ending thing, they say Shepard will return, but the next game is not supposed to be about him/her. It's supposed to be an entirely new thing, but you're in the same universe, so maybe there's a chance you get fan service on a couple of characters.
Yeah.
But there's another Mass Effect game coming.
Okay. I guess it makes sense because I kind of thought with Assassin's Creed 3, the ending of Assassin's Creed 3, the ending.
Yeah.
But.
And then they're like, we're going to do another one, and it was amazing. So.
Oh yeah, it was fantastic.
BioWare is one of my favorite companies as far as gaming is concerned.
Yeah. BioWare.
And I am to the point of just having to swap out my pants every couple of days anytime I look at a fucking trailer or any information on the new Dragon Age. I'm just...
Well, if we want to talk about games like that, let's talk Bethesda and Fallout. And the hoaxes that have been made, and the people that have made fools of themselves.
I will have to leave this mostly to you guys then, because Blasphemy as it is, and it is a good game, but there's a rule with Fallout. You have to force yourself to really get into it, and then you'll love it forever. I didn't do that. I got lost. I played it for a couple of days and just wandered around murdering things and said,
Jared, we did the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you eventually keep playing it, and you're like, oh my god, this is just sex on a plate, is what everybody tells me, is they've all kind of done the same thing, and I just didn't give it enough time, and when I do, it'll be great. Yeah,
exactly. So, have you guys seen the websites that have been coming out that have basically led people on adventures to figure out clues?
No.
The fuck?
I haven't even heard any of this. No.
Okay. So basically, we know now it wasn't Bethesda themselves. A group of people created a website, and it had it was basically a clue. Figure out it was kind of like the Payday Secret almost. Figure out this clue, you get another clue. Figure out that clue, you get another clue, and it leads to this big build up, and then you get whatever's at the end of the rainbow,
Sure.
And so I mean, people spent days on these clues, and there was code, and there was like different languages, and you had to do all that. It was a bunch of nonsense. And once people figured it out, and it came out, oh, just a joke.
Got you.
Just a couple guys having some fun. It went up in flames.
Really?
Yeah.
So this was detrimental to them?
No. It went up in flames as went on 9gag, 4chan, and blah 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 blah
Oh,
other
okay.
websites.
It
God,
went
it went
viral,
straight
lit
up.
up.
crazy, and
So it just
everywhere.
lit up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Flames
so,
usually has a different attachment to
you know,
it burned and died.
yeah. Well, I meant went up in flames in a different sense, but anyway.
Yeah.
So that happened. Then another website came on, but it wasn't like you had to go do stuff. It was basically a screen grab of a script. And I don't know if I can find it, maybe, but it's like, do you want to be an adventurer or something like that? And it was like a script for the new Fallout game, supposedly. And if people were, I mean, I haven't heard anything about it. Script?
I liked Fallout 3, not so much New Vegas.
Yeah, New Vegas was a mess for bugs.
Oh.
Do you
Kotaku.
guys know the first time I ever heard about Fallout 3 coming out? I didn't know about Fallout 1 and 2, right?
Yeah.
I loved Bethesda as a company, but that was because I really, really liked Morrowind. Like, it was probably one of my favorite games because I got a little bit of a fanboy stiffy for anything werewolf, and it had
Hated Oblivion.
It had the greatest werewolf mechanics ever, and they had the ring and then the powers, and you could fucking jump over buildings and murder people and then run around the corner and change back and be like, I don't know what happened. Why are you naked and covered in blood? I'm an alcoholic.
But I'm gonna be honest with you, I've never played Morrowind.
It's great, but you have to go to an area that fits your style. Like, I played the game itself and I was lost and confused and upset, and then I dragged myself up to the island because I was confused, and I ended up on a whirlwind werewolf adventure murdering witches in a cave, and it was great. But when my cousin first explained to me Fallout, he's like, oh my god, Fallout 3's coming. I'm like, I don't know. He's like, Bethesda. I'm like, those guys are cool. He's like, you never played Fallout 1 or 2? I'm like, no. His description of the Fallout series will stay with me forever. He looked me right in the eye and said, in Fallout 2, you could be a fluffer for porn. That was his description. That was his description of Fallout 2.
Fluffer.
The fuck's a fluffer?
You make sure that the guys are hard before the camera rolls.
Oh.
Or that the women are ready.
Okay,
You prep the porno. And I laughed so fucking hard. Because I had no fucking idea. This was my introduction to Fallout. So I'm like, Fallout 3 is coming. And all I know is in Fallout 2, you can help get some dude hard. And that was my introduction. And I started playing it. And I'm like, well, I don't see any dicks yet, so I'm in the clear. What the fuck am I doing?
Fallout, the porn edition.
Like, what do I do here? But that was my introduction. I was really just blowing time for Lone to find whatever he was looking for.
I couldn't find it.
Oh, fuck. Oops.
But, I mean, it's blasphemy to say on the internet especially, but I'm just not a Fallout fan.
See, here's the thing. There are a couple of blasphemous things you can say about gaming. You're not a Fallout fan, people devour you. And like I said, I got lost, so I'm not a fan. I'm sure I would be if I gave it a chance, and I'm going to get the new one when it comes out, and I'll play it, and yay, I'll stream it, we'll have fun, cool. But you know what's blasphemous for me, and this actually pisses people off and has made a lot of people hate me? Mm-hmm. You know what game I just never liked? I was actually really bored, and Medic, don't hate me. I never liked Half-Life.
Oh, man.
That's understandable. That's understandable.
Are you talking about Half-Life 1 or 2? Just 1?
I played 1 and then I played 2, and I kind of liked the story, but the game felt like a run-of-the-mill kind of shooter for me, and it has such a cult following that you can't say that, or you'll be lynched and burned.
Yeah, I'm
well, you can't say it for no
reason. Right
you have to have like a decent reason. Like the silent protagonist thing, like it's old.
At the time, I mean, you got to think games age, but at the time, that was everybody did that. The main character didn't talk, and that always drove me nuts in Zelda. But they're never going to give Link a voice. They've admitted that, and Gordon, he didn't need a voice, but there were just, when I played the game, it didn't feel groundbreaking to me. I mean, I beat headcrabs to death with crowbars and shot at assholes, and it was fun. It wasn't a bad game, but it wasn't, groundbreaking, life-changing, and it was for some people, and yay for them, but for me, it was a game, and I had fun with it, and I'm not super stoked for the new one. I mean, it'll be good if/when Valve gets off their asses. I know Lone wanted to make this joke to begin with, but if Half-Life 3 comes, I'll play it. And I'm sure I'll like it. I'm really hoping it'll be cool, but aren't they kind of jumping the gun on releasing a third one? Wasn't 2 supposed to be episodic? Didn't it not finish?
It was episode 1 and episode 2, and now they're on episode 3.
It's otherwise going to be an episode 3 or it's going to be Half-Life 3. But there's still running jokes that Gabe can't count to 3.
Yeah, that you remember
And
those
every
jokes.
time someone makes a joke about Gabe Newell, it gets delayed.
Yeah, and so we're delaying it right now.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, there was that, and everyone's like, "Oh, the fucking Valve can't count to 3. There is no 3. 3 doesn't exist. They've removed it from numbers. It's going to be Half-Life 4."
What if they do that though? You know what? Screw Half-Life 4.
But I mean,
When they're releasing Half-Life 4, it's in the works.
But I mean, then there was the thing with Left 4 Dead 3, where they took those fucking guys through the studio, and the idiot fucking left it up on his computer, and he's like, "What?" And now we all know that's coming, and
I hope he gets
You know what I want?
Hmm?
And I want Portal 3.
everybody wants it.
I want Portal 3.
Portal 1, godlike. Portal 2, little bit more scenic, but still just as funny.
It's amazing. When
Space!
life gives you
One
lemons,
person.
you say "fuck you, life," and you make those lemons into grenades.
Space. Want to go to space.
You
Space.
Burn
rocket.
down Life's house with the lemons.
I had a friend who does
Jay Johnson here.
video games, and he did Portal 2, and I just got a text message at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and all it said was "Space!" And I'd beaten the game like 2 days before, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
But I mean, Portal 3 will be fantastic. I
Is
hope.
there Portal 3 though?
But there should be.
See, the way Portal 2 ended, though,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they could always. I mean, come on, GLaDOS.
yeah,
Come on.
it wouldn't be hard to make another Portal. In fact, knowing
I mean,
their
the-
writing staff, it could very well be that you left the facility and... Spoilers, you fucking assholes! You left the facility and
Yes.
You went right back in.
you're actually in another part of the facility.
Yeah.
And she just wanted to
Which is a
get you away from
cornfield.
her. And, well, no, like, it's virtual reality or something like that. And that's
I've
it.
just been dicking with you this whole time.
Yeah, and like, oh, you're still in there. Fucking sucks to be you. And that could very well just be an easy intro into another story. It'd be a bad intro, but by the time the game plays, if the game isn't shit, no one will even remember that.
Exactly.
Or it'll just become a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Internet meme. Internet meme.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
the
maybe-
beginning of Portal 3, you'll be walking through a field and be like, this isn't corn or wheat, this is potatoes. Oh no! And that's just how the game
Test subjects.
starts.
But
I
that's
think
all,
Gladys
if
is gonna kill off all the test subjects. That's what I'm thinking.
If
Or
you
they-
haven't played like the continuation of the co-op, you would
Yeah.
have hints on things along
Yeah.
that lines.
I guess you could fucking play as them, couldn't you?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. You could play as Wheatley and what's his name? Not Wheatley.
No, as Peabody
Peabody
and
and-
Atlas.
Yeah, thank you.
Peabody and Atlas, yes.
Yeah, I mean, spoilers again. If you haven't,
It was
been,
their
you're so
guns that
stupid.
I was ruining your fucking Minecraft world with.
Yeah.
Specifically,
You
it was
dick.
theirs that I had spawned in.
Oh, dick.
But
They're still here.
you know, like at the end of the continuation of their Atlas and Peabody's story, you find tons and tons of humans.
Like in these like chambers and just like, look at all these people. Imagine the tests we could do.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
And
isn't
Gladys just being all like ecstatic about all the testing because apparently that's like hardwired into her brain.
Well, yeah,
Like-
she
the
said
vault
it.
thing at the end, right?
Yeah.
Yay. Jesus fucking Christ! What do you got? We gotta rape it?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
gotta
we
rape
gotta
it up.
rape it. We hit 2 hours. Rape it up. Rape it up.
Then,
Alright.
then Gladys bends
People-
over Peabody. Nah.
People ain't gonna wanna see this next part. Just saying.
Spoilers alert, you're going to cry.
Well, just alerted that we hit the 2-hour mark.
Yeah. So I mean, this has been good. We haven't had too many awkward silences. I mean, yeah, this is decent for a first fucking attempt.
Yeah.
And we can get the feedback from everyone else, I guess.
Yeah. And then
comment, rate, subscribe, what you like. Feedback is appreciated. We do talk and read comments.
Yeah, there's that standard. Please follow my Twitch and Twitter and subscribe to me on YouTube. And if you enjoyed, tell me why you liked it. Guys, if you have anything you want to ask us, or if you have any ideas that we could talk about, or if you like this and think we should make another one, just tell us. We'll figure it out.
Shit you would like to see.
Yeah, I mean, this is super easy to do. We can always get together and chat. I think it's the post-production that's going to suck a lot of ass on this one, but whatever. Anyway, yeah.
So, it's been fun.
3 in the morning, yep.
Yeah, I think that'll be good.
This has been Medic. I'm an alcoholic.
Still.
Yep, we're still judging you. And lying to your face.
Well, you are.
Are not kosher, not Jewish, not named Bill. Bill Rat's Jewish guy. Who's still lying.
All day.
Lone, who I think is just running around fucking stabbing bitches in the eyes.
Yep. I mean, what?
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 I see how it is. He's finally admitted it. Anyway, guys, I think this is probably the wrap-up. Thank you for listening to us. Do as we just asked and just kind of tell us what you think so I know if this is worth doing or if we are just terrible people and who the fuck wants to listen to this asshole. Anyway.
Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.
Farewell.